What's up with y'all? Actually, let me pull up. Hit that like button for me. Anybody that's found me, please. Such a rainy day, y'all. The crane ain't even out today. Oh, there you go. Oh, no, that's not him. Letitia's, what's going on? Third Eye Point of View 1. Did y'all know that Eminem was in the EpStein Files? Tell me y'all didn't know. Yeah, I'm chilling out here for a minute. Very peaceful and cheap. Rainy today, which is good, so I can sit in the house and finish this damn video. It's too many names to keep up. Yeah, that's true. Well, the point of it is a lot of this is just people's names is in the files. It don't like really mean anything. The part that I don't like, which is why I wanted to do this live stream. I ain't gonna be in here that long. Reason why I wanted to do this live stream is because for some odd reason that I think we all know, people are picking and choosing what to recognize as being in the EpStein Files. Like for some odd reason, and I know not to take none of this stuff serious, but it's hard. And it's a good practice for me to learn how to just ignore shit that I know that's not true. You know what I mean? Why won't they go to court, Bill and Hillary? Because, and I agree with this, eventually they probably gonna go there and plead the fifth or something like that. But what they're trying to do, if they are the first ones to go to court, right, politically, it's gonna make them the face of all of this. Because nobody has been to court other than Epstein himself and Ghislaine Maxwell. So it's like out of all the people, right, you can actually go to court. The first ones you want to, because it's the Republicans doing that. The people that you're trying to push to go to court and speak are Bill and Hillary Clinton. When, I mean, it's pretty obvious now that these files are out. No one in any of these files are mentioned more than Trump. If there's anybody they should start with, it should be Donald. That's who they should start with. Bill didn't have as many ties to, from what I'm familiar with, Bill has never been to the island. We all thought he's been to the island until he came out and was like, look, I was doing humanitarian work, blah, 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 blah. I've never been to that island. And the media had to come out and say Bill never been to the island. Same thing with guess who? Chris Tucker. This whole time, we all thought Chris Tucker been to that island. You know why? Because, and like I said, this is good practice for me. But because I don't like the way these people handle it. But then again, you know, these people are a way higher financial status than me. They just ignore it. And when you ignore this stuff, it becomes laminated in people's mind that they know what happened and they know the truth. For years, I thought Chris Tucker had been to that island until he came out and said, same thing. I did humanitarian work. You can check the records in the files. I never been to the island, right? But guess who has been to, well, he hasn't been to the island. A lot of people we thought were telling the truth were lying. Elon Musk was begging to go to that island. He said that they tried to get him to go to the island, and he knew not to go. And when they found out emails and all that, he was begging to go to the island. Um, if you have been to that island, yeah, there's no way of getting out of that. But many of the people that we are talking about have not been to that island. Uh, um, believe that Trump has been to that island. I think that's what he's trying to. I think my synopsis of what's about to happen is pretty on point. And this is just I could be wrong. I've been wrong about many things, but I think it's pretty much on point. I think they're trying to flood the market with all these names. They don't even have to even do anything. They even said, yeah, a lot of shit is redacted. Oh, that's another thing. A lot of shit is redacted. But they even said, they even tell you in the notes that this stuff is just from tip lines. At least the part with JayZ and Pusha T. It's just tip lines. It's just people calling, saying stuff. Any of us could have called that tip line and said this shit, right? The same thing about Eminem, which I'm gonna get to in a second. Um, Anybody could call and just say this stuff. Anyone. Um, so all they have to do is put the stuff out, leave their notes there, and most of the people are online are gonna see it, not look at the notes. Even if they do look at the notes, they're not gonna care. Because it's more entertaining to believe in a lie than the truth. And it seems like a lot of these people are cool with that. There's people that I rock with on Twitter. People unfollow me and follow me all the time, right? Because I may say something that they don't agree with. So we can agree on 100 things. If I say something that they don't agree with, then they'll unfollow me. Like, I don't care because I'm not really, I don't have that many Twitter followers. I only got like 200. I don't really be on there. I use Twitter a lot to collect clips because it's a good, it keeps context. Well, I ain't gonna say context, that's a lie. But it keeps, you could track things from this last decade pretty well on Twitter. That's why I have it. Um, there's a lot of people that I follow that, you know, we talk, but they're way much bigger than me on Twitter. 10,000 followers, whatever. I don't care at all, right? I'm a YouTuber. I'm doing pretty well on the biggest stage. If I wanted to, I could probably promote like crazy and bump my Twitter shit up, but I don't really care. I said all that to say that people be on Twitter saying crazy shit, and Elon Musk. I mean, it won't ever be. I don't think Twitter's ever gonna be in a rightful place because before Elon Musk got Twitter, um, it was super liberal. It pretty much, um, it pretty much blocked. I had like on my personal Twitter page, like my comedian page, not the one I use now, which is based on YouTube. On my comedian Twitter page, I have like 5,000 followers. When the Democrats had Twitter, Jack Dorsey and all of them, they didn't have the viewer on there, like how many people can see your tweet. When Elon Musk brought it and he exposed how many people seen my tweet, they have pretty much shadow banned my Twitter page for the last 3-4 years. Not one person seen any of my tweets. They shadow banned it. Elon Musk buys it. Now my Twitter isn't my personal one isn't shadow banned. People see the tweets, but what he's done is some American bullshit. Even though he's not from America, comes here. It's American bullshit, or I guess you could say corporate bullshit, where you replace one problem with others, right? So now the X, or what you want to call it, is just filled with a whole bunch of AI and lies. And what he pretty much did is put a Band-Aid over a gun wound, right? Because he got the Grok shit, right? So Grok, you know, people can ask Grok, is this true or that true? You know, but a lot of times that gets buried deep inside the comments. So it gives people the leeway to put up a lot of fraud shit, and more people are gonna look at this stuff like it's fraud than actually. Most people don't research. Every now and then, I'm even like that. I'll see something and I'll automatically be like, damn, and I don't research. You know what happened to me to where I had to start researching? Is there a few times that shit made it to my reaction videos? I had to pay for that, meaning that I seen something and before I did my research, I'm like, oh, okay, this is true. This is what it is. And then I do a whole reaction video on it just for the comment section, people to fuck me up and be like, oh man, you didn't do your research. This ain't true. This is from a couple years ago. Now, it's been a long time since that's happened to me. A long time since that's happened to me because I just had it happen 1 or 2 times years ago and I knew not to do that shit anymore. So I'm as a content creator, I'm forced to research, to keep some type of credibility on my name. So I'm on getting back to X. You see a lot of shit that's just asinine. There's a woman that I follow on there, good looking black woman. Definitely would date her if I was in America. Doesn't matter, right? I don't even know why I said that. Why did I say that? I don't even know why I said that. But we follow each other on Twitter. Obviously, this girl's a Barbie, right? This is the second time I've seen this comment on Twitter where she put up there. And it makes no sense to me. It says, only 82, what's up? It says that Nikki's ahead of her time. She knew what was coming out. So she wanted to separate herself from the BS. Paraphrasing, that's what it says. I like this girl too. I'm not even gonna front, I like this girl. But I'm like, this is fucking crazy. It will make you think, and when I say you, I'm talking to myself. It will make you think that you're going crazy. Isn't like her brother got something to do with some SA shit? And we already know, is her boyfriend? Did she get married to this dude? Is it her fiance? I don't know. But I know she has a guy living with her that has to be registered as an SA offender, right? How could you come to these conclusions and be a Nicki fan? Like, and I don't want to tag her on nothing because I told you I like this girl. I don't want to tag her on nothing. I'm sending subs, right? I'm just saying shit in general, not tagging her. And it ain't directed at her, but the truth of the matter is I saw her put the shit up, right? Because I don't want her to unfollow me because we disagree. Because women tend, well, I ain't even gonna say women, people period tend to do that on X. If y'all disagree, then all of a sudden they unfollow you. I don't give a fuck. I'm a YouTuber. And yes, I work hard enough to where I do look down on people on other platforms. I do. I look down on people on other platforms, right? In a playful way. I don't look down on anybody. I don't think that I'm better than people other than the passport bros. Outside of the passport bros, I don't think I'm better than anybody, right? We all better than the passport bros. But anyway, getting back to the point. JayZ and Pusha T, he said, bro, her. Well, I think I am. She has a kid. She put up a post the other day where she was like, I can go for 2 more. You know what I mean? Obviously, she ain't with the baby daddy. I'm just now opening up myself to date someone that has a kid. I'll say about 2 years, or actually a year ago, I probably would have been against it. If they have 1 kid, I would date somebody with 1 kid. What's up with you, Medusa? How's it going? But anyway, I agree with her on 99% of her posts. And then she put up this shit about Nicki. Really, I should unfollow her. Really, really. But I'm not a person that's I'm old school, right? I think everybody has a limit of disagreement as far as like, I can't fuck with you, we disagree too much. Mine is pretty high. If you've been, a lot of y'all probably new over here, but one of my slogans is, question everything and no echo chambers. I don't fuck with echo chambers, which means that I have no problem being around people where we don't see eye to eye on everything. But it becomes certain shit that I don't see eye to eye on someone where it's like, yeah, I can't be this person's friend. Like, our values are way too different. Like, if you're in the devil worship, yeah, I'll have a conversation with you just because You know, I'm an information freak. I like pulling out information. I would love to have a conversation with a devil worshiper, just to see what the fuck is on their mind. You know what I mean? I probably will make a good if I just flat out did journalism, which one day maybe I'll do. If I flat out just did journalism with no jokes, no nothing, just research, sort of like Cam James. He's like that. He does research and tries to expose people, or whatever. I'm not gonna say I do that, but if I ever was just a flat out journalist, I think I'd be pretty good, right? Um, uh, but I would love to talk to a devil worshiper just to see what's on their mind. I probably wouldn't become friends with them though. Like I probably wouldn't like talk to them on a consistent basis. I just will probably talk to them a couple times just to see what the fuck is in their head, or what's it like. Um, what made you want to become a devil worshiper? But the point that I'm trying to make is, I can disagree with people, to a certain degree and still be cool with them. Most of the world we live in, if we disagree on some things, you're not allowed to my house. And I don't like that world that's being created. Um, but anyway, I tend to venture off sometimes. The point that I'm making is everybody's paying attention to this JayZ and Pusha T shit. Okay, I already did a stream on that yesterday. While at the same time, stuff has come out about Eminem in the EpStein Files, and they just ignore it. Now, I'm glad this happened, and I'm okay. And I'm okay being glad that that happened because none of this stuff is real. I don't believe that JayZ and people are trying to make that JayZ and Pusha T stuff real. Like they found Moni Love, they found an old video of Moni Love saying Jazzo and JayZ uh, had an apartment in London for 5 months while they was making Jazzo's album, basically saying that JayZ had crazy connections. You see how far the reach is? When in all actuality, that was Jazzo's record label had rented out like an Airbnb, had rented out property for them to record Jazzo's album in London. How does that mean that JayZ was with Epstein and Weinstein in 1996? That's a crazy reach. That's a crazy reach. But people are allowed to do it. Some people are taking advantage while Trump is in the office. Get what you can. Yeah, but that's totally true. But I understand Nikki, right? Get what she can. Maybe she's trying to get a pardon for somebody. Maybe she's trying to get citizenship. Lord knows I didn't even know the woman didn't have citizenship, right? That card she got is fake though. She don't have a gold card. They gave her a souvenir. They gave her a souvenir, right? But the thing about it is, and the reason why I understand Nikki is she's pretty much finished with music. So I wouldn't make a decision like that because you're pretty much destroying your legacy. But she's at the end of her music career, so maybe she don't care. And when I tell you, one of the main reasons I didn't vote for Trump, because I already, once Kamala said and was running on she's black, and me living in California, knowing some of the shit she did against black men, I knew I wasn't voting for her. I did think about voting for Trump. I don't have a problem saying that, right? Well, no, actually, it's the opposite. I knew I wasn't voting for Trump, but once I found out all that stuff she did against black men, I knew I wasn't voting for her either. But the point I'm trying to make is, uh, um, the thing about Trump is, I knew when he became president, he wasn't. I would have been more okay with Trump being president if I didn't know that he was going to use this as a time to just go after Democrats. I knew he was going to do that. I knew he wasn't going to be a president. I knew he was going to go after Democrats. And I know what's about to happen next. I know whoever becomes, I probably won't vote in the next election. But I'm going to say already, you don't have to promote for the Democrats. I do believe the next election, everybody, whether you like what Trump did or not, I believe everybody just has to vote for Democrats the next election, because this dude, whether it's we haven't even seen what he's done to the economy yet, but these tariffs and shit, he's doing shit that affects us overseas. He's made all these, whether you like the guy or not, he's making all these bad. He can be as evil as he want, but it's certain shit that he's doing that is just gonna fuck up America for a while. And one of them is long-term allies. And when I say America, I ain't even talking about us black people. We don't count, right? Uh, he's fucking up allies, long-term allies that white people rely on. That white people rely on. So it's almost like for the sanity of America, almost everybody has to vote Democrat the next elections. That's just my opinion, right? Um, that's what I'm getting to, Medusa. That's exactly what I'm getting to. Um, so I said all that to say that this whole back and forth is not over. It's just starting. I'm almost 100% sure whoever becomes the next Democratic president, they have to undo a lot of shit that Trump did, but then it's almost going to be like the Gestapo once the Nazis were taken down, right? They just going A lot of people are going to jail. A lot of people are going to jail. And it's going to be a public crucifixion, right? Public crucifixion of, well, I don't want to use that word because these people aren't special. A public lynching of all the people that sided with Trump. Um, so I don't think this. I understand what Nikki was doing, but I don't think this is worth it. But when you're somebody that has a cult following, Nicki Minaj is a perfect example of somebody with a cult following. Eminem is too. I'm about to get to Eminem in a second. Eminem is too. They are perfect examples of a cult following. I know how to build a cult following. I don't want to be looked at as some type of cult leader, but there's like certain steps you can go to build a cult following. Some people can build a cult following just being themselves. That's the truth of the matter. If you're one of those people, you just can't help it, you know. But when you have a cult following, there's certain people, they literally have to see a video with you and a dog and being bestiality before they'll even contemplate not following, right? So what you're seeing is a lot of people trying to turn what she got going on into a positive. Because one of the main mantras on Twitter now is that she um, is doing the right thing going against these PDFs. And it's like, wait a minute, you're lining yourself up with the root of the problem. He's the root of the problem. All this we're talking about is so people don't talk about him and how his name is. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a portion of these files, and don't forget, the internet is so many files. The internet has not made it through all of them yet. So throughout this week, you're gonna see more stuff come out. But they said the man, R word in front of some people, like a 13-year-old took her V card, and Epstein was mad about that. And it was almost like it's the second or third one that Trump had did, according to these files, and that it started off a rivalry between him and Epstein, right? Crazy. Then they said he was auctioning off, uh, minors at some point, like a slavery, like auctioning them off. Um, we had another one where a limo driver heard Trump in there talking to someone else about kids, and he said he was so distraught from the conversation, he almost didn't care about losing his job and almost pulled to the side of the road and wanted to fight Trump. That's in those files as well, right? But everybody talking about JayZ, Pusha T, and Eminem. Now here's where Eminem comes in, right? Uh, I'm I'm happy this stuff in there about Eminem is in there, and I'm not wild for saying that because none of this stuff is true, in my opinion. Well, in the FBI's opinion too, and the fact is, there's a difference between opinions and facts, and the facts is, for any of these people, JayZ, Pusha T, or Eminem, there wasn't enough evidence. And in Eminem's case, apparently nothing even went that. Well, some stuff did, but it was nothing in there to merit a full-on investigation. Here's why I'm happy that Eminem name came up in there too. Man, they dragging JayZ and Pusha T online. I will be the first to denounce JayZ if any evidence came out of this being remotely true, and Pusha T, right? Even the way when you hear the story, it sounds like the story of the girl that drove from Rochester to go to the MTV Awards when she was 15 years old. It sounds just like that. It sounds like there's no they want to make it was professionally put together, but when you look at the essence of the story, it looks like some made up shit, right? So when you see these people and you hear these people, you're not gonna ever see them. But when you hear these people online talking all this, all you have to do is what I've done a few times, which I stopped doing because for me it's a waste of time. But some of y'all can have at it. Just ask them, well, what about Eminem? So the JayZ and Pusha T stuff is true, but the Eminem stuff ain't. Now the way they wrote the Eminem shit, though, it sounded like they was trying to help him out while mentioning him at the same time, which was weird. Which was weird. Same thing. It was on the tip line. This wasn't no investigation. It wasn't like they found a video and had both of them on. It was nothing. Somebody called and said this is what happened. Um, it's not impossible that any of this stuff happened. I don't think it did, but I think it's fair to call this hoopla when there's absolutely no evidence to it. But this is what this woman says. She said she was at a party, and I like. Well, I don't even want to say woman. It sounds like it's a woman, but anonymous. What's up with you, Samurai? So this woman recants the story. She goes, I remember Epstein coming in along with Ghislaine and others. I believe they were first. Marshall Mathers wasn't there with Epstein, at least not that I saw. Now they just throwing that in there, recanting this. They're just throwing that in there, right? If you're gonna tell us a story about Epstein and tell us a story about Marshall Mathers, tell us that. But it just sounded weirdly placed there. It just does. I remember Epstein coming along with Ghislaine Maxwell and others. I believe they were first. Marshall Mathers wasn't there with Epstein, at least not that I saw. I wasn't normally allowed in the bar. I know they moved a bed into the banquet space. My memories of seeing it there are hazy, like I was drugged or under hypnosis. Right. Who says Marshall? It's Eminem. Correct. Right. After pouring Marshall the drink, now they're all in the same venue, according to her hypnosis that she was under, all in the same venue, right? But Marshall Mathers was not with Epstein, but they're in the same venue. At least that's what I remember, right? That's what she's writing. After pouring Marshall a drink, I left the bar. I asked, could I go home now? Instead, they held my face and forced me to take something. I know there was another woman who shaved my privates, but my only memory after that is of being in a different part of the country club, telling the man Marshall didn't have sex with me. I honestly don't know if he did. So his name is in the files. He was in the same vicinity. She never saw them together. That's what she's saying. Hey, hold on. Wait, hey, I think you timed out Medusa. Don't time out Medusa. Yeah. Um, yeah, you'll be right back, Medusa. Yeah, what you time out Medusa for? Okay, I got you. Anyway, but my only memory after that is being in a different part of the country club, telling the man Marshall didn't have sex with me. I honestly don't know if he did. So he's in the files. It's all stupid. It's all dumb. It's all stupid, right? Um, it's all dumb. It's all stupid. I don't believe none of it. But the point of me saying all of this is that so now, because eventually somebody gonna come on probably on my main page and say something stupid like, "Oh, y'all people that support JayZ, y'all probably PDS just like him." And well, what about Eminem? First of all, this is another thing. It's another thing, right? Eminem has multiple. We talked about this yesterday. Eminem has multiple songs with him talking about being with minors. Now he has it masked as what's that one song, Guilty Conscience, with him and Dre. He's talking about putting a drink in the underage girls, slipping the Mickey in the underage girls' drink. He has another song. He has a few songs where he's on there saying that type of stuff. JayZ ain't got no lyrics like that. Not talking now. They in that time there was a lot of grooming going on in New York City, but JayZ don't have no lyrics like that. You know what I mean? JayZ has no lyrics like that. But Eminem does. Eminem does. And that's pretty much one of the things I just wanted to point out is that all this stuff is stupid. We and people who, because Drake fans now are going crazy, and I understand that. I'm not a child, so I don't care about half this stuff. As you get older, you start to realize none of these people will give a fuck about you. So you start to not be fans of people because it's like you're pretty much helping somebody else in their empire, and they don't really care about you. Um, I say that to say that I don't get caught in these games. It's not my job to defend JayZ or whatever. One thing I just like doing, and I've always been like this as a kid. Sometimes it gets me in trouble. I've lost jobs from being like this. I've gotten fights from being like this. It is a characteristic that I have that I'm trying to control. Um, because you can't, it's a dangerous characteristic to have, especially in today's world. But I like to call out liars. I like to call out liars. All right. Um, and it's dangerous calling out liars. It is. You lose jobs from calling out liars. When you do it, whether you do it passive aggressively, especially if you're of color or if you're black and you're in tech like I was, you lose jobs for even when you try to do it passive aggressively, like I've done many times. I've had people, um, uh, I've come up with ideas. You know what I mean? It's all good, Medusa. I've come up with ideas working with tech companies. I've said it in meetings, didn't make it a big idea, and then I've had it in other meetings a week or 2 weeks later. Have some Indian dude do a whole whiteboard about the shit, and literally in front of my face talk about like, how he just came up with this idea, and I'm the one to be like, wait, hold on, Sanjay. We talked about this in the meeting. Now that whiteboard looks good, but I believe that I brought that up in a meeting last week. I'm that type of nigga. Then that person y'all become enemies when really you don't have a problem with that person. That person just saw something you came up with, and instead of saying, "Hey, I talked to Moxie and he came up with blah 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 blah," they did a whole whiteboard on it, and they want to talk like how they're a genius. So, like, calling people out is a very dangerous thing, and it's a waste of time, especially on X. It's a waste of time because people, uh, it's easier to believe the lie. It is. It's easier to believe the lie, and it's more entertaining to believe the lie. I look like David Ruffin. Why? Thank you. Um, One thing that I like, because remember yesterday it was Dax. Yeah. Yesterday it was Dax. Last week it was Iman Shumpert. One thing I like about being myself is when you have your own lane, everybody sees something, they always want to compare you to something or somebody else. When it comes to my work, when it comes to how I look, it's never the same person, which I'm happy. I've heard David Ruffin before. I've heard that before. Yesterday I looked like Dax. The day before that, the week before that, Amon Shepard. Y'all remember last year was Teletubby. You know what I mean? Like my videos. I think it was New Mind said Cap Stories is like Cam James. It's very similar to Cam James. Somebody come on there, all my videos sound like Patrick CC. And somebody else came on there and was like, uh, I sound like some dude. One thing they say is that my work comes off as never the same YouTuber. All these different YouTubers, other than Cam James, everyone that they say my work comes off of, they all got 1,000,000 subs, which I'm okay with that. But thank you. Um, thank you. I'm gonna put thank you, Medusa. I know I look like Moxie, but I'm gonna put David Ruffin on the list now. I'm gonna put David Ruffin on the list. I, I I don't have a problem with none of that until they all start saying you look like the same person. When it starts becoming the same person, then you have a problem because you depicted yourself as a person that's already popular. But I highly doubt that'll ever be me. And as long as they don't say I look like somebody that's ugly, that doesn't bother me as much. Um, but whatever the case may be, it's all hoopla, man. That stuff that was out about Eminem, uh, it seems like they tried to protect him a little bit more than they did with the stuff they were saying about JayZ and all that. They already got a petition up on Twitter of people saying that NFL should not work with JayZ. Uh, it's just it's stupid. The thing I don't like about all of this stuff is it's really there to help Trump out because there's no one. Oh, Bill Gates had one on there. The Bill Gates one. See, let me tell you the differences between the Trump shit and the JayZ stuff, right? Because then someone can also point that out too. Well, why do we have to believe the Trump stuff rather than the JayZ and Pusha T and Eminem? Do me a favor. When they bring up JayZ and Pusha T, don't let them not bring up Eminem. Because even though this woman says she don't think she has sex with Eminem, she says she's not clear about it. And she also said that she tried to leave after serving Eminem a drink and they stopped her and they drugged her. That's what she said. And Eminem was there. He was there. If it was a black person, if it was anybody else, it don't matter. They would say he's there. And we're not gonna do the same thing for Eminem. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. But if we're gonna make bullshit be real shit, let's make bullshit be real shit for everybody, right? So JayZ's done foul stuff. Pusha T has done foul stuff. Eminem has done foul stuff, but they don't want to hear that part. And like I said, the thing about it is JayZ and Pusha T don't have them provocative lyrics like that. Eminem does. And I know people will say, "Oh, Eminem, and he don't like PFDs." I actually think Eminem is definitely in the top 20 of greatest lyricists, if you want to say. Um, I won't ever agree with people. My problem is not with Eminem. If I sat down and talked to Eminem, we would probably agree on a lot of things. Eminem himself said that he's a guest in hip hop, right? Uh, um, Eminem has followed many of the rules of hip hop. I'm just not willing to put him as the greatest rapper of all time. You know what I mean? I'm just willing to not put him as the greatest rapper of all time because it's like, why would I? He has not had enough influence on hip hop to be labeled as the greatest. I do understand white people calling him the greatest because they don't have nobody in contention for that. So of course they're gonna call him the greatest, right? But when you ask them to explain it, they can never. Oh well, record sales and all that. I don't think he still hasn't beat out Tupac, but anybody in real hip hop knows record sales. Vanilla Ice, Beastie Boys had more record sales than people at one time. Does that make them the greatest? You see what I'm saying? So, but my problem is Eminem talks his shit lyrically. He does. Eminem talks his shit lyrically. I fucks with Eminem. It's his fans that are the problem. Even he knows that. That's why he did that documentary called Stan. Because I'm pretty sure he don't like how the fans put his name in certain shit because most of the time he's not saying nothing. It's his fans. But yeah, let's get to the Bill Gates shit. Uh, The difference between Trump and and Bill Gates and all of their stuff is on emails. It's not from the tip line. That's the difference. And see, when you research, you can get into these conversations with people. Because most of the time, people you're going to talk to about this have not done their research. Theirs are in emails. Still, no evidence behind it, but it's not like from a tip line where any one of us could have called that tip line. And if I knew this was going on, I would have called in there, called that tip line, did all kinds of stuff against people I don't like. Yo, I was at a party, man. Lil Rel talked all this stuff, and I saw him with Epstein. And they put something in my drink, man, and it's like, I don't know, man. It was Epstein and it was Lil Rel in the room, and then Epstein left, and it was just me and Lil Rel in the room. If I knew all that stuff was going down, I could have called the tip line and, you know what I mean? They were taking all this, they wasn't taking all this stuff serious, but they was documenting all these. But yeah, they have a email. There's another dude. Right now, I think he's the Secretary of Commerce. What's his name? He's a Secretary of Commerce that he said that he heard Epstein, him and Epstein had a conversation, and Epstein brought up some kids in it in 2007. He said, I never wanted to talk to that, I never wanted to talk to that guy again. And this guy, what's this man's name? Instead of saying, he ended up talking to him again in like 2012, 2013. He ended up talking to him again. Those are the people that they're on a different plateau of this case than JayZ and Eminem. Don't forget Eminem. When they bring up JayZ and they bring up Pusha T, bring up Eminem as well. We're not gonna take these dudes and put them here and separate them from everybody. They all go together. If we're gonna put them out there, let's put them all together. That's the point of this whole stream. EpStein case. I should have downloaded all this stuff, and man, people missing out on numbers, man. But I don't do reaction videos, but I guess I could have did shit on this page about it. I should have looked at all these files. Secretary of State. No, that's not her. Secretary of Commerce. This dude's working for the government now. Yep, I was right. Lutnick. Yeah, here we go. U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick planned Epstein Island visit. These are all emails. These are all emails. Said and Diddy. And see, look. He said YouTube striking all Epstein topics. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. What do you mean? And Diddy. Yeah, let's bring that up with Diddy. Diddy ain't got nothing to do with this. Compared to what we're talking about, because I know what y'all getting at. Diddy is funny. Baby oil. Diddy ain't on none of this. Diddy was working with grown women who were sex workers or whatever they had going on, having freaky parties and stuff like that. What Diddy did wrong, not by opinion, by what the court said, is that he was traveling with this stuff and it became sex trafficking. I'm glad that you brought up Diddy. You want to know why? Because Diddy is a saint compared to this stuff. Diddy's a saint compared to this stuff. You folks, and I do mean you folks, whatever way you want me to mean you folks want us all to be together with this whole Diddy stuff. There's nothing in there with Diddy and kids. And there's a difference. There is a difference. There's a difference between doing stuff with grown women. The stuff that Diddy did ain't illegal out where I'm at. In Thailand, what Diddy did ain't illegal at all. In an ounce of it was illegal. Now, him hitting Cassie, yeah, that's fucked up and all that. But they ain't got nothing to do with this, folks. They ain't got nothing to do with this. It don't even align, and it ain't even comparable. Because that's what they want to do. Because there's some racial stuff behind this Diddy stuff. They don't want to let the Diddy stuff go, and they want it to be comparable and sort of be on the same level. It ain't on the same level. It ain't on the same level at all. Diddy's a peon compared to the stuff that we talking about here, right? When all this stuff happened, they tried to throw it was kids and all that. Wasn't no kids involved in this stuff. What Diddy was doing was some grown people stuff. And you want me to be honest with you, other than beating up Cassie, I don't think he did anything illegal. I'm not one of them feminist folks that want to try to, all them women that opinions are subjective. Cassie, Daphne Joy, them ones I know in particular, and victim number 3. Victim number 3 didn't even show up. Victim number 3 didn't even come to court. But you know what these women said that was striking? Is they said, to this day, I still have love for Diddy. To this day. What he did was with grown women. This stuff? No, sir. It's not on the same level. No, I don't put Diddy in a group with them. Diddy is a Hollywood freak, right? These people that we're talking about are big-time political PDFs, a clan full of pedophiles. That's what the Colombia president. Now, if you want to make up some story, right, of Diddy being with kids, look, this is online. People can make up anything. There's no truth to that or anything. So you can make up, if it make you feel better, make up a story that Diddy was with kids and stuff like that. But in reality, in our world, Diddy didn't do anything with no kids. You better off, I'll give you a help. I'll give you help. I'm not even in America. You goat effer. I can tell by your name, you a goat effer. I'm not even in America. You got to come up with something else, man. Come up with something else. And stop getting y'all fucking jokes and toasts off of Twitter and X and shit like that. Trying to be creative. We roast over here. We talk shit over here. Can you fucking be creative, though? Can you be creative at all? Right? Like, yeah, but they want to put, even though that's Diddy, that don't represent us, they want Diddy to represent us. And if Diddy represents us, Diddy ain't on the level with y'all. I'll even help you out, you PDF. I'll even help you out. If you even want to try to do that, you better off using R. Kelly with that, not Diddy. Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to say we're all together when we all know per capita and the overall total numbers of the PDF stuff, child sex trafficking and all that happens in America. We know who's behind that. Any way you want to go, you can go flat out numbers. And I know y'all folks like using per capita too. Y'all dominating them both. Wait. Legend in 2 games like a Pee Wee Kirkland. Y'all dominating both specters on that. There is no beating y'all or competing with y'all on that topic. Period. There is no beating y'all. And the thing about it is, people like me, we're not even thinking like that, right? Because messing with kids is bad, period. We're not even thinking like that. But in some people, the people that say, oh, you want to put race into everything, they're the ones that's actually putting race into everything. So, okay, let's put race into this. Nah, y'all tried to get Michael Jackson. And the same people that's going after Epstein and Diddy, those are the people, because I got in an argument. Well, it wasn't an argument. It was actually a very good debate with some college kids out here. A dude from Philadelphia out here visiting, a white guy. Yeah, actually a very good debate out here at a coffee shop about that. And I asked him, you know what I mean? Because we were talking about this Epstein stuff, and they brought up Michael Jackson. And I said, okay, but the same people that's talking about these EpStein Files and all that said that they did a thorough investigation on Michael Jackson and cleared him of everything. So all of a sudden, the FBI got it wrong here, but here they got it right. We can't trust the FBI over here, but we could trust them over there. I don't think it works like that. And he said, well, people are starting to not trust the FBI right now. So, I know how to debate. I told him, I said, okay, opinions are subjective, right? Facts aren't. But when I come with my opinions, I can give you examples, right? Give me one example of a black man really doing anything illegal related to PDF, sexual assault, stuff like that. that they got off and they let him go? Name one. Name one. He tried to bring up a few of them, but everyone he brought up got shot down quick. He tried to bring up O.J. Simpson, which I said PDF stuff and assault stuff. But I said, okay, let's go with O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson, after he got off on that, soon after that, got caught in Vegas for trying to get his own memorabilia back, and they sentenced him to 20 years for that. And the pale-faced demon judge even said up there, you know, because you know how they talk. They project. They're very good at projecting. She said, this has nothing to do with any other case that you have been involved in at all. So let's get that clear. And then gave him the maximum on everything. You know how big of a contradiction that is? If you don't bring in the other cases he was involved with, he was a first-time offender. How did he get the max on trying to get his shit back as a first-time offender? It's a pale-faced demon judge, right? Pale-faced demon judge. Yeah, who is you people? Because I don't care about opinions that oppose mine. I don't really fuck with the racist shit. But tell me, who is you people? And now you're talking to somebody that's been around the world. We are peons in crime in America. America, not only America, the world wouldn't be. You see this bullshit out here? America got something to do with this bullshit out here. I'm in Vietnam. America destroyed their infrastructure, right? We are peons when it comes to crime. Yeah, take all the crime in America. Y'all are fucking the world up. You met the right one. You met the right one. You probably do all better on a tether page. Tether ain't gonna know what to say to you. But yeah, even me, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I just roast you and all that. And I maybe not know what to say with you. Y'all fucked up the entire world. The entire world. The shit that they put on us in America is due to classism. I haven't been to a country yet where poor people, there isn't violence over there. But like people like this person want to put the violence into some type of DNA and some type of color of skin. Look at what they do at these fucking football games and shit like that. And they don't have no reason. You know what I mean? White people have shit given to them. They don't have to even work hard. They don't work hard. They get shit given to them. You see what I'm saying? And they still destroy shit over a fucking football team. They're not doing it because somebody got caught by the cops. They're not doing it because they have nothing to eat. They're doing it because their fucking football team won. They destroy shit and don't even really have to eat. They destroy shit and don't even have to do it to eat. I haven't been to a country yet where there's poor people and there isn't violence around there. So thank you, whoever the fuck he has a bravery blocker. You don't have to be really brave because they don't put their real name and real face on the avatar. I call it a bravery blocker. Thank you, Mr. Bravery Blocker. Thank you. The fact is that many people are poor and poor commit many shameless crimes. That's correct. It has nothing to do with color or anything like that. That's classism. But if you do want to talk about color, come to my page anytime and let's talk about, we can put, and I'll even be real with you about my people and stuff that they do that's bad. We can all put it on the screen anytime. I'm that dude. I'm that dude. We can put it on the screen at any time. We can talk about, I'll even admit all the stuff we got going on. Yeah, the Bloods and the Crips, all of it, I'll admit it. And then now let's take a look at what y'all do. Oh boy, because I be loving to have conversations like that. I be loving because when it comes to violence and danger and corrupt injustice, nobody can even contest. All that shit is smoke and mirrors. And this is a perfect part of this conversation with JayZ and Pusha T. It's smoke and mirrors. Even Eminem. Nah, don't block people. Unless they say something racist, I don't like people being blocked. That's how you put yourself in the echo chamber. Y'all all know that. I don't. And even sometimes I don't even care about if someone's saying stats and they want to relate it to black people, I still wouldn't block them on there. I'm just talking about when they flat out come on there and just be like monkey. It ain't no different than my main page. But I'm never a person that likes to block people that have opposing views than me. It gets boring, man. If I ever had a page where everybody agree with me or we all thinking alike, I do want some people in there like myself, of course, but I don't ever want no page where I see other people's pages like that. That shit is boring to me. And it's inauthentic. It's inauthentic. I'll never run for people that have opposing views with me. Never. That'll never be me. That's the problem with the world now. That's the problem with the world now. Shit, man, I'm out here. You know who's doing a lot of the violence out here, other than the locals? You said they blocked you? No, that was Judah that blocked. That was Leonard that blocked you by accident. That was Judah that blocked you by accident. I don't really. Let me stop. I do need. Oh, Taylor Bell on my other page is a moderator. I do need a white moderator over here. I'm gonna get a white moderator on one of these pages and start checking white people. I'll let them handle that. I got Taylor Bell on the other page. He's a moderator. How can people block moderators? People can't block moderators. The fact is, but anyway, I don't want on that tangent. Cause that's one of the things I learned, man. That your mind is in a box when you think just about America. Even if you, even if you try to like pay attention to foreign politics and stuff like that, because I always have, you won't get how much damage has been done to this world till you see it yourself. Till you go to these other countries and see their mentality, and then you start researching yourself, and you be like, okay, where did this mentality come from? And you start seeing it came from a European or came from Americans, who are the same people. But yeah, it changed the way I look at stuff. It's easily to debate somebody that just wants to put crime and violence on black people in America, especially once you know all of our history. It's easy to debate people because we weren't like this at all. After slavery, we went to create our own towns, our own banks, our own businesses. It's not even that fucking Black Wall Street shit. And I'm not calling it shit like they did something small, but I'm only calling that because that was kind of phony to me too, because they taught us about that in high school, about that, and they focused just on that. Like it was just one thing. So not to disrespect the Black Wall Street, but there were like 60 Black Wall Streets. But for some reason, they just wanted to teach people. It's called selective honesty. That's what it's called, selective honesty. It's just another case of the PFDs with selective honesty. That's all. We're just gonna tell you about this event and just stick to that event. You know what I mean? Like that's the only one that happened. We did it one time. They did it 60 times, man. So we had our own. They were so upset. That's how unions got created. Unions got created because they were so upset that we were creating our own. And we were creating our own businesses. We were creating our own job markets. Poor white people got so upset about it that they demanded action from the government, right? Started destroying our cities. They started taking over our shit. They went in a place in North Carolina, took over a whole fucking bank, a whole city, made the mayor get out of town, and there was no reason for doing it. You know how they did it? They said the mayor said something bad to a white woman. White woman walked in town. Nobody said nothing to her. The next day, all these white men coming over there to take the whole town over. Oh man, somebody raped this white woman. They did that to so many places in America. So I'll easily debate with any of them because they'll say, oh, you can't build anything. Da, 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 da. Every time we build it, y'all destroy it. Oh, just the Black Wall Street? No, we had 60 of them. We had Manhattan Beach. They went and took Manhattan Beach, a dumb house Negro, got it back from the city, and he gave it back to the city. Manhattan Beach is in Orange County in LA, very racist. Black people had Manhattan Beach and owned. Black family went and owned Manhattan Beach, and the beach was for black people to go there and be safe. They took the beach from them. But then they'll go years later, because a lot of y'all haven't done your research or don't really know how to vocalize yourself against these people in the correct way. And they'll make you think we just been sitting here playing with our thumbs and shit like that since slavery and ain't build nothing and create our own shit. Niggas got tired. Not to mention all of the leaders that we have that happen to be COINTELPRO agents and shit like that we thought was for us was actually working with these people. Some people will say that was Martin Luther King. I try not to hate on Martin Luther King as much, but the brother, once you look at him, the brother had a lot of bad shit. It was almost like he was working with the government, and then it was them that wouldn't kill him at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? So once you see all that, and you see what they did, and then one of the turning points was the 50s when they came up with all these programs, right? And I'll easily explain it to you why white people don't destroy stuff as much as they used to. Because all the way up until the 60s, 70s, and really the 80s was the defining moment. They were the ones leading in crime. The Italian mafia, the Irish, all these Irish gangs. They are the ones that created gangs. Not the Bloods and the Crips. The Italians, white Italians. Sicilians came later. The white immigrant Italians are the ones, and Irish too, let's not take them out. They created gangs in America. And it's crazy because in their day when they were doing it, they celebrated criminals. They celebrated criminals, right? Let's go even before World War II, Cam. Let's go even before that with the, what's the guy named, what's the guy named Billy? All them during Civil War, after the Civil War period, during construction and shit like that. What's the guy that was going around Wild Wild West? Not Billy the Goat. What was his name? Billy, forgot, man. I smoked too much weed, man. I know one of y'all know his name, man. Motherfucking cowboys that was going around killing everything. That's one of my problems. My memory's so bad. Billy the Kid. There you go. Billy the Kid. Y'all got it. Billy the Kid. They were celebrating these motherfuckers. Killing police and all of that. They were celebrating them. In their time, the violence and the gangsters. Killing people, R-word and people probation era, right? Killing people, R-word and people, all of that. It was all cool because it was a white criminal doing it. Man, during that time, we was building up our neighborhoods. We had just got out of slavery. Bonnie and Clyde, we can go down the list. You're right, we can go down the list. We was minding our business. Some of these people was using black people because they know they was easy targets and police wasn't gonna do anything, robbing from black people and all that, right? But what they did is, and the reason why they don't destroy shit as much as we do in America is because they're not poor, because they were given shit. They came up with all these programs in the 50s to just give them shit. They gave them houses. When you see in the Midwest, when they got all that land, all them acres and acres, them people didn't come up with some invention and got rich. Them people were given huge swaths of land, and the government created programs to show them how to farm on shit. They'll come and tell you the story. I don't know why blacks can't do better. My grandpa came over here from Poland and had $5 in his pocket. Your grandfather came over here from Poland and got a government program. He ain't do shit. He ain't no hard worker. He ain't do shit. Man, run that shit on kids like y'all do. Go to high school and tell them that because they don't know the truth. Their brains haven't fully formed yet. They can't think for themselves. Go do that. Man, don't try to put that shit on no grown-ass man and did his research. Run that shit to the kids, man. The kids have to sit there and listen, and if they don't listen to you, you can give them an F. Which they do. Which they do. You could tell your kid, if they tell your kid to write this essay, because if I had a kid, I would definitely have him do this, because I'm an asshole. I would definitely have him do this. You can have your kid write an essay according to how they want it, but your kid actually tell the truth and say all the other shit, they'll still give him an F. And you could be like, wait a minute though, but this is the truth. It doesn't go on how you want him to be conformed. Yeah, he might have not talked about Black Wall Street. He might have brought up another event, but it's the truth. The only place where they don't do that is college. But in high school, even if you write essays on the truth and even go by their instructions, if that's not what they want you to say, and if that's not in their books, they're allowed to give you an F. That's why I don't want to put my kid, if I ever have a kid, I don't want to put them in none of their schooling or anything. Because pretty much what they're doing is they're making you They're making your kid conform to their lies. They made us all conform to their lies. And when I got to the point, and I'm not talking about all white people, all right? Institutionalized, correct. I'm not talking about all white people, all right? I'm talking about the white people that's in charge, right? When I really knew not to trust them is when I figured out, because now they're being a little bit more open on and being a little bit more loose with these subjects, because now people have the internet and AI. It's all, there's more tools. You don't have no reason to be stupid now unless you want to. There's so many tools where you can use to do your research now. There's no reason for you to be ignorant towards something. Anything you don't know, if you're willing to spend 5 minutes to even maybe an hour, you can quickly learn about shit. Now you have textbooks, encyclopedias in your pocket, on your phone. So it ain't no reason for you. Just most people are lazy. They don't want to look shit up. You know what I'm saying? Uh, um, um, but they gave them a lot of shit. They just flat out gave them shit. Gave them houses and all that. Gave them swaths of land. You know what I mean? So that's why now they don't have to do as much crime, and they just sit there and watch, and they sit there and just sit there and talk shit. Ain't really work too hard to get what they want. Gen Z is fucking it up for them though. I don't know if they're gonna do away with them for good, but they're fucking their wealth up. They're fucking their wealth up. But they just been passing this wealth down, and they don't like blacks utilizing the same tools they got. Why do you think they hate Bronny James? You know why they hate Bronny James and LeBron? Well, for one, ever since LeBron started speaking up for black people, and I don't agree with everything LeBron has said, but one thing about LeBron, he don't compare to my GOATs on the court, which is Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. He don't compare it to them. But one thing I will give to LeBron, that's over both of them, whether you agree with the man or not, and he does be flopping. I can't lie about that. But one thing I will give to him, is he's spoken up for blacks more than any of them. Definitely more than Jordan and Kobe, both of them. Kobe rarely spoke up for blacks. Same thing about Jordan. That's just the truth. Same thing, right? But that's not LeBron. LeBron, when he has made time, and they hate him. You know why they hate Bronny James? Because of the nepotism. You know why they hate Shador Sanders? Because of the nepotism. But you know who utilizes nepotism more than anybody? You know who's utilizing nepotism now in front of your face, right? His first administration, Donald Trump, was filled with all kind of people in his family. It was a whole damn near branch of the administration that was all built on nepotism, right? But when a black person uses nepotism, they become an enemy to white people. They don't want us using the same thing. You ain't got to even do nothing wrong. They just find out it's a famous person's son on there. Or why does he have to be in here? Does Bronny James, should he be in the NFL? I don't think so. But I don't care about that when most of us were at jobs where we had to be managed by some white person, right, that got hired by his uncle. Don't qualify for the job or anything. They got hired by his uncle. And those are the worst ones to work for. You know why? They don't know what they're doing. They hire people that do know what they're doing, but they don't ever have to take accountability, right? If they make the wrong decision, they're not going to get fired because their father owns this shit, right? So they hire people that know what they're doing, and when the person does something wrong, they don't take accountability for it. They just get rid of the person that they hired that knows what they're doing, right? You know what I'm saying? So it says they hung white people. Rest in peace, Goody. Yeah, those white people, and just me. I don't think they deserve to die, but they're not fighting for me. They're not fighting for me. God bless the people that they fighting for. They ain't fighting for me or my kind. They're fighting for legal, not even immigrants. They're fighting for illegal immigrants. But let's just say that they're fighting for immigrants. The crazy thing about it is the people that they're fighting for, in those particular names, once again, I don't think that what happened to those people are right. But it shouldn't be under the same umbrella. Their fight is for immigrants, and the people that they're fighting for has fought for a long time to not be statistically included with people like me. And unfortunately, I live in a country where they allow people to do this. Their country, you would die doing the shit that they're doing. There's no way a woman from Somalia should be have anybody from any country, let alone Somalia. There's no way somebody that's born on foreign soil should be allowed to get any type of position of power or in politics in America. Period. Period. No, no way. And you can't go to their country and do it. I don't have a problem with Mom Donnie. Same thing for him. Same thing for him. But I hear what you're saying, Deep State. But those people are they're not fighting for Black Americans. They're fighting for Somalians who themselves would tell you they're not Black Americans. You know what I mean? Nor would I like to include them as Blacks. If anything, they're Arabic, right? And you know, God be with them on what they got to do. But what they're doing is not related to us at all. It's so many videos of them. Um, they're not. They don't have too many videos of them speaking out against the people that's done this to them and that's doing this to them. They don't speak up. They haven't spoken up against them for some reason. It's a whole bunch of videos of them speaking up against the people that made it possible for them to come here. I don't know why they think, and they're learning this lesson. And Black folks, we're doing the right thing. Let them learn this lesson. And do me a favor, hit that like button, but let them learn this lesson. Don't get involved in their business. Let them learn their lesson. I don't know why they think or thought it was a good idea to come to a country that they didn't help build, that they're lucky to be even in the country. They wouldn't have a chance of being in America if it wasn't for us. In their head, they think that white people look at them favorably. And what the immigrants are learning is that let's be real, in our own country, Black people, we're second-class citizens. For some reason, they thought since they're not Black Americans, that they're not second-class citizens. They thought that they were more closer to first-class citizens. Or maybe they wasn't stupid. Maybe they think that they were somewhere in between first class and us, second-class citizens. What they're starting to find out is they're not even second-class citizens. They're starting to find out they're third and fourth-class citizens. Asians are not even second-class citizens. They're third and fourth-class citizens. But all these groups had so much fun and were so to talk bad about us. Now they're all crying for help. And I don't understand it on their behalf. I don't know what the fuck they think that we could do for them. They got gay white people on their side. They should be cool with that. Work with what you got. You see what I'm saying? I don't know why they trying to get us put in there and they keep talking about, oh, they've come up with so many tricks. And I ain't gonna lie, this is one of the most demonic administrations we've ever seen. They're very demonic. They knew not to include Black people in this because they knew too much backlash, it'll be a problem. So Trump went out of his way to say none of this shit got anything to do with us. It's a clip I played many times on this channel where Trump is saying the birthright citizenship bill, the stuff that he's placing all this ICE shit on, it don't apply to us. He said the bill was wrote for the sons of slaves. And then they all like to say, I'd have had Latins tell me this, and I'd have had Africans tell me this. They all like to say, once you bring up Trump saying, oh, look, he's a Trump supporter. Shut the fuck up. Y'all voted him in there. Y'all voted for me. When I tell you, I dragged I deleted Facebook after this shit because I dragged this Hispanic dude so bad on this Facebook post where he was like, I can't believe this Black dude speaking up for Trump. And I wasn't. I'm just talking about what Trump said. He said the birthright citizenship bill is for the sons and daughters of slaves, nobody else. Just you saying that, they want to bring up, oh, he's sucking Trump's dick. Nobody sucked Trump's dick more than the Hispanic community that voted him in there. People will try to say shit that don't make no sense until you embarrass them because you done did your research. You see what I'm saying? That's why I implore all y'all not to listen to me. Take what I'm saying and research it for yourself. So you know it like the back of your hand. When people say this stupid shit, you can shut them up. Or don't do it. Because just like I told you in the beginning, pointing people's lies out is very dangerous. Sometimes you got to let people just stay in their lies. And sometimes it's a waste of time because they even know the truth. They don't want to believe the truth. They want to believe a lie. Said, what y'all go Eminem did this time. Okay, we kind of got past that part, but I'll revisit some of this. Eminem is in the EpStein Files also. He was at some event where Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell was there They were never in the same room, though, this person says. And if this event was true, which I don't believe it is, but if it was true, it sounded like they tried to set Eminem up. One of the rumors behind Epstein, and I want to say rumors because they did the same thing to P. Diddy, and we don't know what the truth is. But one of the rumors is that Epstein has a lot of videos on celebrities. And I'm just going to keep that as a rumor right now until we see more, because you could not tell anybody when P. Diddy got arrested that there wasn't celebrities on those tapes. You couldn't tell anybody that. If you tried to tell people, oh, I'm unsubscribed to you. He's an agent. He working for the CIA. Just for saying, and I didn't even say that because I didn't know what the truth was, just like y'all didn't know what the truth was. But there's a lot of people that was speaking like they knew what the truth was. But TD Jakes, they had him on the tapes. All these people, they claimed that they had tapes until we got to court. And Diddy's lawyer said it one time, and he didn't make a big deal out of it, but he said it one time. He said, hey, I think my client should get bail because there's been a lot of lies spewed out about my client. You know, there's no tapes with no kids on there. And he says there's no tapes with no celebrities on there. And the judge said, you are correct, but I'm still not giving him bail. That was the end of it for me. That was the end of it for me, right? But somebody that don't work for the government, that ain't never met Diddy in their damn fucking life, will still come on here and say Diddy's done something with kids. And say Kevin Hart, they probably got to take with Kevin Hart and baby oil. When the fact of the matter is, there was no celebrities on any of those tapes with P. Diddy, right? So going back to Eminem, some person called a tip line, and basically it sounded like they was trying to set Eminem up with her. They allegedly had drugged her, and she says she can't remember. She says one of the last things she saw was Marshall Mathers, and when she woke up, she can't remember whether they had sex or not, but he was there, in so many words. And once again, this is a tip line. What separates it from the other Epstein stuff is these aren't emails. Any of y'all watching this could have called that tip line, and I could have been in the file. They could have said, hey, man, this is a dude named Moxie. This YouTuber on there. I saw him up in the mansion and all that, too. Anybody could have called any of them tip lines and say whatever. Y'all remember the girl that went on JayZ that was like, and that, what's her name, Tisa Tales? Tisa Tales, try as good as that girl look. I like me some Tisa Tales, right? Tisa Tales did everything she could to make that autistic woman. I'm not talking shit about her. She is autistic. She did an interview where she says I'm autistic. Tried to make everything that autistic woman said be true. Everything. She said, I think the girl made a mistake. It wasn't the 99 MTV Music Awards. It was a 2003 MTV Music Awards. She was changing the years, the timelines, and everything. She changed everything up, right? But this stuff sounds just as felonious as the autistic girl and her story of being her friend. She was 15 years old. She said her friend drove her from Rochester, New York, all the way to New York City and just dropped her off at the MTV Music Awards, right? Y'all remember that story. And she just walked around the MTV Music Awards, and limo guy said, hey, you're P. Diddy's type. And then took her to some party, and after the music awards, her and J-Lo and JayZ and all of them watched her get, R word, which she later on came and said it was all a lie, and Busby forced her to say that stuff. Mind you, when they ran the news, because the news went down there and recorded this girl, that's when they recorded her saying this. They put out that interview and didn't put it out later that the girl, after the interview, told the same person that it's a lie. You know why? It was good for media. It was good for clicks and views. Then later on, leaked it that the girl said she was lying. And it was all this was done in the same taping. Same taping. It was all done in the same taping, But why put all that out at one time? Why not just separate it, then put it out? Because it's good for clicks and views. Man, we living in the world, and this AI, man. Oh, boy. I don't even want to get into how AI is about to make, he said, Tisa, what's up with you, Imperial Stats? Everybody in them, but Orange Man barely is now. He all in them, but ain't nobody talking like he's in them. I get what you're saying. You're talking about how people are acting, right? He ain't nobody in these files more than him. That's what's so fucking crazy. And I'm telling you, I came up with this a long time ago. A long time ago, I done came up with this. Um, they're trying to put all these names connected to Epstein because they're trying to give so much of a soft landing when we find out how much Trump and Epstein was in cahoots. Trying to give it a soft landing. By the end of this, everybody that you ever thought was anybody in the industry is gonna have some type of connection. He said Bill Gates, damn it. Oh yeah, the email they caught on him. I ain't gonna front. All this stuff is just hearsay, whatever, until we see some evidence and all that. But that Bill Gates shit sounded real, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not Bill Gates, but I'm not gonna lie and tell y'all I ain't never been in that situation that Bill Gates was in. Not no wife, because I ain't never been married. But I'm not about to sit here and lie and tell you back in the day, I cheated on my girlfriend. I think I caught something from somebody else. I'm not even gonna lie. Real talk. And I was trying to find a way. I ain't even gonna lie. I was trying to find a way how, how could I tell my girlfriend at the time that something is off, this, that, and the fourth? You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking about drugging her because I knew that was illegal and I knew I can get more in trouble. So what did I do? I just been a grown man. And of course we broke up after that. But I had to be a grown man and say, look, I think I caught something. I was cheating on you. You know what I mean? Of course, that was the end of all of that. But I ain't gonna front. You know what I mean? I was in that same situation. And I was trying to think of what I was hoping. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping we can get in some type of situation where I think she was cheating on me too. And then now we got something we don't know where it came from. I don't care, man. Most of y'all, look, some people don't want to tell y'all this type of shit. I ain't gonna keep repeating myself. Most of y'all know I used to be an STD counselor, right? And I know, I made it upon myself to be authentic on here. You know what I mean? And yes, I caught chlamydia before. Yes, I've caught chlamydia before. I don't think you really probably been intimate with too many people, especially you probably haven't had too much raw dog sex if you never caught anything. I think most men that have done things, they call it the player's disease. That's what it was when I was coming up, chlamydia. So yeah, I don't have no problem telling y'all I caught chlamydia before. And most of y'all have too. You don't have to tell me. I'm the content creator. I decided to tell y'all. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been in that situation before. Yup. That's why I read that. I was like, man, that shit sound too real, man. Don't forget, they broke up too. Any nigga that's ever been in that situation, if you like the person, you had to at least thought of some type of way how you can get out of it. But if you were like me, because I did think about it. I did think about, yo, how can I get this girl this antibiotic, right? But I knew if I got caught, because a lot of that shit, it tastes funny. You know what I mean? Because with chlamydia, they give you one pill. It's like one big ass pink pill. They give you one pill. I think it's two, might be two pills. I'm not sure about that. It was a while since I've been a STD counselor. You know what I mean? So it might have been two pink pills, but I know it's not a big dosage. I know it's not a big dosage. But I thought about that and I was like, yo, that's major jail time if I got caught putting this in this girl's drink and she found out. That's major jail time. That's major jail time. So it's just like, no. But as a kid, yeah, I did think about that. I did think about that, but I knew it was major jail time and I didn't try it. And it's like, yeah, you get caught with that, you're gonna make it worse. All this over a female that you cheated on, just tell her that you cheated on her, you think you caught something, just tell her that. And that only happened to me once because I knew, after that, I ain't gonna say I'd never been in a situation like that before or after that, but what happened, if I cheated on a girlfriend and I had with somebody raw dog, there's no way you're gonna, and I had situations where that happened after that, and it's like, Your girlfriend hitting you up, she trying to link up that night and all that. And she gonna know, if y'all used to not using condoms, she gonna know something happened if you want to use a condom. So what do you do in that? You have to buy yourself some time. Man, I'm sick, something like that. You gotta buy yourself at least 3-4 days, at the least. You might have to buy yourself a week. You know what I mean? You might have to be like, yo, I got the flu. Point blank period. I got the flu. You know what I mean? Talk to her every day. Oh, yeah, I don't feel too good. Just give me a couple days, I get back with you. You know what I'm saying? And during that whole time, you get the test. You know what I mean? You get the, you know what I mean? Like, but I'd never been in that situation again where I thought I caught something and I had a girlfriend. If I had, because I'm very paranoid about that shit now. If I had raw dog sex outside of a relationship, then I would just go get tested. And I'll wait till the test come back, you know, before I would even be around my girlfriend again, which at the most will be about a week. I'm the type of nigga, I only like to go through things 1 time, 2 times at the most. 2 times at the most. And after that, then I know, yeah, okay, I have to change. I'm accountable. You know, it's like, okay, I got to change something now. I can't keep going through this shit. You know what I mean? You keep getting chlamydia, they ain't even gonna be able to treat you for it because your body's gonna build up a resistance to the antibiotics. That's another thing they don't talk about. So you can't keep going out there and just keep catching these diseases over and over again. You can get fucked. That's how there's a form of chlamydia out there that's uncurable, and gonorrhea, because it's people that kept getting it and getting it and getting it and taking the antibiotics, and their body became resistant, and then there's a form of chlamydia that's resistant to antibiotics. Because so many people done did that so many times, right? I forgot the name they call it, but you can look this up. There are forms of these STDs out there that are just resistant, you know? And once again, I don't care about telling y'all this because I know some of y'all went through it, just like I have. If you haven't, then you get to hear somebody that's authentic tell you they went through that shit before. Yeah, I went through that shit before. When I read that from Bill, any nigga that's been out there with women, I ain't expecting none of y'all incels to know anything what the fuck I'm talking about. But I know some of y'all niggas that been out there. Y'all done went through that same shit. I think almost every nigga that have been with a whole bunch of women been through that at some point, where they cheated on their girl, maybe something happened, maybe the condom bust, or maybe they were drunk and they just decided to go raw dog and they caught something. And they was stupid enough to go have sex with their girlfriend a day or 2 after that. You're like, damn, I think I gave her something. You are an asshole. Because some niggas is like this. I'll never be like, I am an asshole, but I'm not that bad of an asshole. Because I like to get my sleep at night. I've never been to a point where I've let a girl, and some niggas is like this. I've never been to a point where I let a girl go on after that, and she might have caught something from me. That's now you the scum of the earth with that. You the scum of the earth with that, where you done gave a girl something, and I know niggas who was like that. Probably done gave a girl something and just like, fuck, I'm just not gonna fuck with her more. Nigga, you gave the girl something, right? The right thing to do is be a man and be like, look. And look, I tell you what, the girl ain't gonna fuck with you. She gonna hate you. Later on, she gonna respect you for that. She will, I promise you. Later on, she gonna respect. I ain't gonna say she still gonna wanna fuck with you. I ain't say that. But she'll respect you, you know what I mean? The girls I've had the best relationship with, because one thing about me is I like to, if I'm going to have unprotected sex with a woman, later on this became, when I became much more mature, if I'm gonna have unprotected sex with a woman, we gotta both get tested, right? And I've had some women that had a problem with that, and it's never offended me. It's never offended me. For some people, not for me, because I used to be a counselor, once again, it's uncomfortable talking about it. But if I ever was with somebody and I wanted to have unprotected sex with them, and I told them we gotta go get tested together, and they were so uncomfortable with it that they felt like it was something wrong with me, or they blocked me after that, or they didn't want to talk to me after that, that person is not for me. That person is not for me. If anybody takes that characteristic from you as a bad characteristic, don't fuck with them. And I'm saying that to say, yeah, all y'all should be doing that, especially in today's world, all these hoes and all that. If you're going to start having unprotected sex with somebody, y'all need to go and get tested together. And really, if you want to be real, now this can be uncomfortable. This next part, we're going to get back to Bill Gates. This next part I'm about to talk about to get real uncomfortable. Now, I agree, this next part is uncomfortable. But if you want to be real, every 3 to 6 months, y'all really need to get tested together again. Now, women, well, I ain't going to say women because it goes for, I just date women. So I've never been on the woman's side. So that's why I say woman. But your partner may take that as offense because they may look at it as, well, why do we need to get tested together when we already did that unless you're cheating? But really, the truth of the matter is I don't know if you've been cheating. But why do we have to even get into that? Why don't we just, as a couple, just go ahead and do that? But I do get the second time can be uncomfortable. I do get that. Me, I still don't care. I still don't care. But I'll repeat what I said. Before you and someone have unprotected sex, y'all should go and get tested together. If a person is that uncomfortable, I can see them being uncomfortable at first having that conversation. But if they're so uncomfortable about that, where they judge you or they think it's something wrong with you for proposing that, go let the bitch be with the wolves. Or go let that nigga be with the wolves. Or let that PFD be with the wolves. Because that's what they're going to deal with outside of that. Because that's a mature man. Only a mature person, mature man or woman, is going to ask a person to do that, right? I'd jump all over a woman that would ask me that. We might get married, because I ain't never had a woman ask me that. You know what I mean? I'm not judging them. But if I ever had a woman ask me that, shit, I wouldn't have no problem with it. We might get married after that. Just the fact that you brought that up, yes, let's go do it. I fucks with you. That is somebody that cares about themselves. And don't ever care about that other person more than you care about your own health. Don't ever be like that. Always put your own health, because if you're not here, you're not gonna be here to care about anything. But put your own health up there. And me personally, and to a woman is my wife, I would like to get tested with them every 3 to 6 months, even if we're in a relationship. But going back, I said all that to say, I like having these kind of conversations with y'all, because I know ain't too many other content creators out there talking to y'all like that, you know. And I don't have a problem with it. I'm like this in real life. I have real type conversations like this. But the point that I'm making is when I read that Bill Gates shit, that shit seemed real as hell. That is some only players be positioned like that. And I'm not calling him right or anything, but I read that and I was like, yo, that's a real situation right there. That's a real situation right there. Yes, Eminem is in the EpStein Files. You read that correct. This ain't no joke. You know, at the end of the day, no crime was committed other than they tried to say he drugged somebody. And let's bring that up again. JayZ don't have no lyrics about SA minors or people, period. Neither does Pusha T. Eminem does. If you ask me, I think all of it is a bunch of BS. These are all taken from the tip lines. But the reason why we doing this stream is if you're going to bring up JayZ, if you're going to bring up Pusha T, please don't forget Eminem too. And I'm pretty sure the next few days we're going to see other celebrities in these lists, because it was a tip line. It was a tip line. All this is smoking mirrors from the one and the only that's been in these EpStein Files more than anybody that we talk about, more than Bill Gates, more than Chris Tucker, more than, I'm waiting for Obama's name to come up. I'm waiting for Obama's name to come up. I know, and I'm not waiting for it like it's something wrong, but they just want to throw his name into something. I'm surprised his name ain't came up already. You know what I mean? But his name has come up in other stuff. There's an actress, a white woman actress, where I read an article about this when it was during his second term, I believe. Was it Sandra Bullock? Was it Sandra Bullock? But apparently, it sounds like Obama was cheating on. It sounds like Obama was cheating on Michelle with a A-list actor, A-list actress. But all his stuff is just like, none of his stuff, there aren't even no rumors of him involved in this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like PDF stuff and stuff like that. I don't know. That stuff that I read about him, was it Sandra Bullock? Who was it? That stuff I read about him and his actress and during the time frame and how Michelle was acting, it made a little bit of sense. I'm not going to say it's 100% sure it happened, but it did make, the way I read it, it did make sense. What actress was rumored? Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston, that's who it was. Um, there's also some rumors with some facts attached to it that Obama was having affairs a long time ago when he was in college. Not affairs, but Obama was putting a branch under the nose when he was in college and he was going to Columbia in New York. Some of the stuff I read and the way he acts, I believe it. Definitely believe it. Because he is, whether we want to admit it or not, but most of us ain't Obama fans. I already know that. Most of us ain't Obama fans. But Obama was the first gay president, you know. Hey, the African got to deal with it. That's on his legacy. He's the first gay president, you know. But the reason why I say there's some truth to it, he said in his book, he was very loose when he lived in New York. He did admit to living with a LGBTQ man at that time in New York City, and he did admit that he had a small cocaine habit. He admitted all of that in that book. Now, just because you take cocaine don't mean that and you talking to somebody who was admitted to having a small addiction that didn't go over 6 months, but yeah, I had 6 months where yeah, I dipped my nose in that bullshit. Y'all all know that story. I'm not about to go into it again, but if you're telling me somebody that did that drug before, and I was never in any of those situations because I was mostly doing that with top tier comedians. So I was never in none of those situations where I was around a whole bunch of LGBTQ people and was using that. But I'm not gonna lie and say when you use that stuff, you really don't really give a fuck about anything. Really. Just being real with you. You really don't give a fuck about nothing. You don't give a fuck about fighting. You don't care if you get shot. Like, you don't care about nothing. Like, you're just numb. You're real numb. That was a very bad drug for me. Very bad drug. I'm already aggressive. You know, I'm already passionate. It just made me everything I am to like the 10th power. Way too much. You know, motherfucker feel like you could just run through this. And some people would really try to run through this glass door and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's how that shit make you feel. So you're telling me you was on that shit and you was living with a gay man for over a year in New York City. I know how to put the dots together. I know how to put the dots together. And when you went in office, under the guise of being an African American, you did nothing for African Americans, and you did everything for LGBTQ. He put them on a trampoline and pew, jumped them to the top. And they haven't looked back. Well, they are looking back now with Trump under office, but things will never ever be for them the way it was pre-Obama. Never. It'll never be the way it was pre-Obama. They will never go back to that time. They will never go back to that time. So, yeah, I'm not about to sit here and protect Obama like that. But the truth of the matter is, there ain't nothing on him involving no kids. If he just want to be a bisexual man, which I think he is, I think he's a bisexual man. I don't think it's far-fetched to say that. And if you want to be even more real about it, it's really none of our business, really. Whether he was involved in that stuff ain't had nothing to do with what he did as a president, which I don't agree with a lot of that shit. You know, well, the whole gay marriage shit got something to do with that. Let me take that back. The whole gay marriage shit. But outside of that, none of that stuff outside of that, outside of the gay marriage bill, his sexuality ain't had nothing to do with that. I'm the type of person I don't care and I don't want to know about that stuff. I'm the type of person like you don't have to make no announcement. For what reason should I care about what you do with your penis or your genital or whatever? I hate when people make them announcements on what they is. So the fuck that mean? You know? There are certain people that I would like to know that about. But I'm not in a situation like that. Like if I had kids, I would like to know if they're in a school that promotes that or is a teacher that promotes that. I think I have the right for that. If it's somebody that's not watching your kids, and if it's somebody that you not planning on fucking, I don't really care. I don't really care. but I think Obama was a good president for America. Yeah, I've said this many times. Obama was a horrible. Look, listen, black folks don't even like hearing this now. Niggas is so upset with Obama. But the truth of the matter is, yes, he was a horrible president for black people. But as far as American presidents, he was a great American president. He was probably the best president since I've been alive. I can't think of somebody that was better than him. Period. I can't as American president. But I'm a black man before any of this. And yeah, he dropped the ball. He definitely dropped the ball for us. And now half the time that he's out of office, and when he was in office, he was lightweight doing this. Nigga was lightweight. He lightweight talks down to us. Listen, if it wasn't for Michelle, I think black people would start throwing bananas at this nigga by now. Real talk. We all in love with Michelle. So we let Barack Obama get away with a lot of stuff. We're all, yes, he is biracial. Some people may even call him a tether. Some people may. Nowadays, you're going to find a couple of niggas out there that will call Barack Obama a tether. You know, certainly was biracial. Look, he played us in certain type of ways. Let's just be real. He played us in certain type of ways. And if you want to take it a step further, he is the reason why niggas was mad when Kamala Harris came out with that I'm black shit. I think she would have done much better if she just would have stayed away from the demographics or stuck to who she was. She still would have probably lost because it wasn't black people that took it away from her. It was the Hispanics and white women. Those were the two groups that did it. It wasn't black people that lost that election for her. We, you know, as a group, we still stood on 10 toes. And I think it was 85% of black men, 90%, 2% of black women went and voted for Kamala Harris. It wasn't us. Now, if you ask, I ain't about to start getting on here on black women, but if you ask a lot of them, they'll put it on black men. And the ones that do put it on black men, not only have they not researched, they wanted her to be president to spite black men. So I'll repeat, the black women that put Kamala Harris not winning the election on black men, those are the ones that didn't do research and don't want to do research. They wanted her to be president to be in spite of black men. And unfortunately, that's the community that we have now. Thank you to the CIA. That's a community that we have now, where people are hoping that other people of color become president so they can spite black men. Now, is it the majority of black women? No, but there's a good group of them that's what they were hoping. Because y'all remember after she lost, there was like 2 or 3 days of all these videos going viral of them crying, "Fuck you niggas. Y'all let us down. I hate all of y'all, I get so nauseous hearing those are agents of the state, whether they know it or not. The ones that are like that, they're agents of the state. They shouldn't have any black support from black women or black men. Because another thing is there are a group of black women that love black men, and their voices get drowned out by these hoes. Real talk. Their voices get drowned out about them. Look, man, if you want to go get a white dude, go ahead. I'd rather them go ahead and get a white dude, right, than them coming on here talking about black men. I'd rather them just go get. I haven't seen, and this ain't got nothing to do with American black women, but I haven't seen one black woman out here yet with a black man. They all out here with white men. But most of them out here are African or French Africans or whatever. But a lot of them out here, black men, they sort of like American black women with the white men, which I don't like. These women be out here and it's almost like I can kind of catch them on my peripheral where they're like trying to get my attention. Have any of y'all black men went through that? They like try to get your attention what they would. And I really can't stand that because I don't give a fuck what you doing with the white dude. Yeah, I've been out with white women. I ain't gonna lie. When I was in LA and New York and I was out with a white woman, I did not like seeing a black woman. When I was more like this. You know what I'm saying? When I with a white girl and I'm out there and I see some black, because they will definitely stare at you. I'd be more like this. I don't be wanting to catch eye contact. They have to get your attention. And it's like, you think I give a fuck that you with that pink dude, motherfucker? I would never want to be with a girl like that. Because if you are with me and you want to draw somebody's attention, that means you're really not in this because you like me like that. That means that you had a different type of agenda. Like if you're with a girl and she still is trying to get or trying to show off to her boyfriend, her ex, or something like that with you, please believe that's a red flag. That's a red flag because it's still something about him that she's attached to where she has to show him you. Don't think that it's a flex because it's not. It's not. You get into women's psychology, it's not. It's still something attached to when a woman is really done with a person, they don't give a fuck about them. You really know you with a woman that's over someone and you ask them about their ex and all that. And yeah, I didn't like this and I didn't like that, but you know what? God bless him. I hope he all right. That's a woman that's over someone. You see what I'm saying? Like, me and this Australian girl been talking the last year, right? And it's a girl I used to date, right? And this whole time she's trying to pull one over on me, right? She has a baby and shit like that. But she didn't want to flat out tell me she had a baby because the game will be over, right? But she was keeping everything open, talking, saying, added me on Facebook, right? So eventually I would see it because she wanted me to see it. Does it make me jealous? No. It makes me, I know that I made the right decision. You know why? Because this whole time, you've been wanting me to know this and all that, right? And you didn't want to tell me in the beginning because the game will be over. But you were trying to play a game all the way. I don't want no bitch just like that. Because that lets me know is that you really wanted to be me. That's what it lets me know. I don't want no woman that's like that. You see what I'm saying? So whatever the case. Anyway, yeah, I be seeing them out here. But these be African girls and shit like that. But they still want me to see it, and it makes me laugh because it's like, first of all, you African. I already know y'all white worshipers. What the fuck I give a fuck? You're not even from my community. You from another community. I look at those differently than I will look at a black woman with a white guy. Some of these black women were raised off of these interracial movies and TV shows. I mean, Spider-Man, Batman, all of them now are running with the black woman dating a white man. So cool. You know, maybe that's what they really like. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what they really into. That's what they really into. The way I look at the immigrants that's like that, you don't have no value unless you're attached to that. I feel sorry for you, you know? But if that's what you got to do to get out of that poor neighborhood you got to live in, who am I to tell you don't do it? It's not no flex or anything like that. I look at the same. Man, there's a 90-year-old man that went viral out here. Where was that? Thailand. He's 91 years old, and he has a 28-year-old Thailand girlfriend and had a baby with her and shit like that. She think it's a flex. She think it's a flex. What it is for me is inferiority. You feel like you don't have no value unless it's attached to a white man. I feel like a lot of Asian communities are like that. They have the ability to do it. One thing I had to learn myself is if somebody are empowered by, they feel like they're empowered by something, well, really they're not. You just gotta let them feel that way. You have no power on making them not feel that way. You just gotta let them feel that way. So some of these groups don't feel like they have any value unless they are attached to a white person. That's cool. That's cool for them. I don't think American black women are like that. I think the ones that have done that, neither that's just their preference, or they've been hurt by some black man, and they put it on all black men. And I do know one thing. I don't respect none of them if they're not the same person that they were with black people. Me, and some of y'all might have been around to see this. Maybe a lot of y'all haven't. But even when I was with that Australian girl, maybe 6-7 months ago, and I did a couple live streams with her. The last time I fucked with her was on a live stream. I was doing a live stream, and she came over there, and she said, man, I'm ready to go home. You got 1 minute to cut it off. I told her on a live stream, Nah, I plan on doing this live stream for an hour. I'll meet you later. And she was like, nah, I did it on the live stream. She was like, nah, if you're gonna do the live stream, just don't talk to me no more. I said, okay, goodbye. Me, it don't matter who I date. Treat them all the same. I don't let no white woman do stuff that I wouldn't let no black woman do. Period. If a white woman start acting all masculine, I stop fucking with her. Just like I'm not gonna fuck with no black woman that's acting all masculine. There's a behavior I don't like. Maybe some colors are more susceptible to that behavior more than others. But the truth of the matter is, when I see that behavior that I don't like, I don't care what color you are. I'm just not fucking with you no more. Why would I attach myself with a maniac screaming? Why would I attach myself to a maniac screaming, illogical white woman when I wouldn't attach myself to the same type of black woman? You're just only fooling yourself. You're only fooling yourself. You're gonna have the same results. You see what I'm saying? I'm not one of them people to think just because I get with somebody from a different culture, if it's the same behavior, it's gonna turn out different. I don't attach my worthness to someone from a culture anyway. It's all behavior. You know what I mean? I become more powerful with a woman that I can trust. You know what I mean? A woman of virtue. Don't matter what color she is. And it goes the same way. If it's a woman ain't about shit, whether she white, black, Asian, Australian, you know, it's not gonna work. There's a whole bunch of Asian women out here that's starting to act all masculine and shit. And oh my God. And some of you niggas know what I'm talking about. The worst non-black women that you can ever date is the ones that have dated a black person before and think they know their culture as much as you or more than you. And think they know what you like based on what they've seen on the media. Oh my God, get the fuck away from them. It's starting to be Asian women, not here. One thing about Vietnam, they culture has been closed. So they just now opening up. So you're not gonna, there are absolutely no, oh, that's a lie. There's a small group in Ho Chi Minh of Vietnamese women trying to be like black women. Very small group of them. They got the little box braids and shit like that. They got the little box braids and shit. But in Vietnam, you're not gonna find a lot of them. Thailand, oh, there's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of them. You know, they're gonna end up finding out, and some of them are finding out already, but they're gonna end up finding out very soon that the black men that they think they got, if they ever make it to America, they gonna find out I ain't the black man that you think you got. They gonna find that out. They gonna find out that it ain't the black man you think you got. You got black man trash. You think you because some of the shit that they be doing ain't no real black man gonna take that shit. It's not. But a lot of our trash is out here dating women, and they think just because they rocking Jordans and they look like us that they top tier black men. Like, nah, man. There's one Thai woman out here. We was friends for a while, man. I had to block her, man. Cause she's just like the other ones, where she done seen something online, and she thinks she know my community. She thinks she know what type of woman I like. As crazy it is, you find them out here. You find them out here where they think they know their culture more than you, from what they seen on social media, or maybe they dated some type of guppy, right? You know, and like I dated big booty Thai, dark skinned Thai chick, big ass booty. Like, we broke up because she said, you know, you're not like my last man. He was doing this, that, and the fourth. Like, he was giving her money every week and shit like that. And I said, yeah. And she thought what she did was gonna work. She was like, you know, I can't deal with you because you was treating me like your last boyfriend. And I said, okay, first let's establish we're not dealing with each other no more. All right. So I'm not gonna call you after this. But the next thing I want to put on you is you're not realizing the black men you're dealing with out here. You dealt with a 50-year-old dude that an American black woman wouldn't touch the nigga. That's why he out here, and that's why he was giving you what, 30,000 baht a month, because he's a loser back home. He don't have a choice. You are the best thing that ever happened to him. No offense, you're not even on my top 5. Really not even on my top 15. I ain't say that, but I told you you're not even in my top 5. I just thought you was cool. But for you to even compare me to that type of trash, that's why I don't like Passport Bros, and I don't go anywhere that they go to, because they created a own world out here, and I don't belong in that world. That world, them guppy niggas belong in that world. They belong in that world. She needs to find another dusty ass, which I think she has. I don't know. I don't keep up with these hoes. But she needs to find another dusty ass nigga that's a loser back home that has to give her that money per week. I wish I could be around to see any of these niggas, because these niggas ain't stupid though. They know not to take him back to America, because then the lie is over. Then the lie is over. Then they'll start seeing as they walk through the mall. Women know. Women know. Women know. He said, I stay away from the bums. Yeah, I stay away from the bums. And then the next thing is you got to stay away from the women that you know they've been with. Because the women that they've been with have been brainwashed because they think they're with somebody of value. Technically, they are in their country. Anybody that's willing to get them 30,000 baht a month, that's, you know, that is a value for them. But in my culture, when you start adding it to somebody that think they know my culture and think that they was with anybody that someone that they can compare to me and my culture, that's where they fail at. That's where they don't understand. But if they ever go to America, some of them find out in other ways, but if they ever go to America and they walk the mall with these niggas, they gonna see them face expressions. They gonna look at it and they gonna be like, how did this bum ass nigga end up with this woman? They reckon it don't matter. Some body language, it extends, is international. Body language is an international language. When they go to the mall, he said, how much is 30,000 baht? That's about 1,000. That's about 1,000. Yep, especially since the dollar went down. Anywhere between 900 to 1,000. That's how much 30,000 baht. Right. I already know where your mind is. Right. You think I'm about to give you, and see, it's the thing. I do shit that a boyfriend at that time should do, because I was going together with this woman for a period of time. She had a Airbnb, and she was renting out an Airbnb. So what I was doing is do shit that a boyfriend would do. I said, look, of course I don't have to do that. I have my own condo. I said, look, I'll do this. I'll rent the Airbnb out, throw some money for the Airbnb on the app for 2 days to give you a good review. That's the type of shit niggas like me, your boyfriend, that's what I should do. And you can even keep the money. What is it about? $80, $90, 2 days? You can even keep the money. You know what I mean? No, she want me to like give her money monthly and all that. And my whole thing was like, nah, I'm not about to do that. I help you in other ways. Shit, I'll even take you to dinner every other day and pay for that. I'm not about to give you flat out cash and shit like that. And everything was cool till she started bringing up her ex and shit like that. This girl was off the wall anyway. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna lie. And that's how I kind of almost got into it with this dude, but there was no way he was gonna ever bring it online. Niggas is afraid of me online. I'm not talking about no physical shit, but niggas are afraid of this entertainment. So they know talk that shit behind the scenes. Better not mention my name online. You know, you ain't never heard that Zoom dude mention my name online, but all these people will tell you something going on behind the scenes. And I've mentioned them online. They know not to do that with me. But she even had something going on with Game Abroad. And she tried to compare me to Game Abroad. Well, Game Abroad was doing this, and I said, look, I can't explain this to you. And this is why I knew just stop fucking with me. The fact that you compared me to Game Abroad, the dude that had his girl taken from him, I fucked this girl before Tom Young. But after that, a whole bunch of other YouTubers did too. I didn't go out there and tell people that because I told you I don't promote prostitution. I don't. You know, but the fact that she compared me to Game Abroad, yeah, you don't need to be, we don't need to be fucking with each other. And it ain't your fault either, woman. I don't need to be down there sharing women with dudes that's like that, because we have nothing in common. And that's why I don't fuck with that area no more. That's why I don't be down there, you know, and that's why I don't go where dudes like that frequent, because we got different values. We deal with women differently. I can't say these hoes. These niggas are captains. They are captains. I'm not a captain save a hoe. And I have other shit going on. I'm not a loser back home. I can go home right now and get a woman just like that. These dudes can't do that. You know, they are forced to do certain shit like that. And that's good for them. I don't need to be around where they frequent. And I don't need to be dealing with girls, no matter how good they look. I can't say these women gonna have to find out on their own that they were losers. And eventually they will. You know what I mean? But anyway, let me get off of that topic. Making it tough to travel, are those days over? No, it's not tough to travel. Traveling is really a great thing. I'm enjoying myself where I'm at right now. I'm gonna get off here soon and finish this Kanye because I'm behind at work. I'm really fucking myself up, man. There's no excuse because there ain't nobody in my way but myself. So yeah, I do got to get to work in a minute. Um, but I'm having a good time in the city that I'm at. I'm in Vietnam. Uh, not just people that I'm meeting, things that I'm learning, things that I'm seeing. Uh, Good traveling days aren't over. The thing about it is you just have to make sure, and there's only a few handful of places. You just got to make sure, and I don't know what you are, deep state, black women, everything is open for y'all. I wouldn't go nowhere where these passport bros are at, black women. But that's on you. Black men, for sure, don't go anywhere where you know these passport bros are. Those places are ruined. Those places are ruined. I can give you a list right now. Um, Dominican Republic. I never been to the DR, but so much stuff I've heard. Um, they finally cut the tail off the donkey in the DR. They pretty much taken away their red light district in DR. DR is one of them. Uh, Copacabana. I have been to Copacabana before. I went to the festival down there. I wouldn't go to Copacabana now if you were a black man. Maybe in another year or so, but not right now. That's where Floyd got caught. Um, Floyd got caught, and this is the Passport Bro YouTuber that they named Floyd that got caught down there. Now I'm not about to speak up for him, but one thing about me is I just tell the truth on everything, right? First of all, that dude, him and this another dude, they obviously are slow in the head, right? But one thing that I think these people, I tell you, I done told y'all this yesterday. I tell y'all this a lot. And I think these people are ashamed to tell y'all this. And I'm not ashamed to tell y'all this because well, there's no reason for me to be ashamed to tell y'all this. Because I like to tell y'all things to watch out for. Um, and don't think that I'm taking up for him in any form. I'm not. But when you go to all these countries, even in Vietnam, it's happened to me here. I told y'all this yesterday. Parents will offer you their kids. It's dark. You know what I mean? I'm a child of God, right? Well, not the white people's PDF, not Jesus. I'm a child of the Most High. You know, I was raised white the right way. There's no way I would even fathom anything like that. But parents out here in this part of the world, they offer your kids. It's disgusting and it's sick. And I'll be too nauseous. This shit happened to me maybe 3, 4 times, so I realized what they were doing because they don't say, "Hey, you want to buy my kid?" They'll tap you, and they'll say, "Hey, you see her? Yeah, she's shy about you." Like what the fuck? They have certain ways of doing it where the conversation starts off, and it's like once because I was stupid in the head. I'm just like y'all when I first came out here. I don't know what the fuck they mean. Like it took me a while. I'm like, wait a minute. I think this woman is offering me their kids. I said this to say that Floyd was in Copacabana, and I'm not smiling because this ain't funny, you know. But he got caught with a 6-year-old. He brought a 6-year-old from a parent and videotaped it and all, and it's all over the news down there. And I only told y'all this whole story because I don't think he was going out there looking for that. I think he got caught up in it. And there's no excuse to get caught up in it. If you're not, like I told y'all before, I'll never get caught in a situation like EDP. I'll never get, you can't set me up. You can't set me up like EDP. You can't set me up like How to Catch a Predator because I don't fuck with kids. Period. So I'll never get caught up in nothing like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not condoning what he did, but that's what I'm saying. I think that he got caught up. I think he got caught up. Says, did I see the clip where Kanye said the white man is most judged and on his way to be at that spot? Yeah, that's what my next cap story is about Kanye. He has turned into, and I'm glad you said that it changed the story. Wait, let me just finish that last thing. To deep state, just Copacabana. Colombia about to be on that list. Never been to Colombia, never plan on going. I think you could already put that on the list. Copacabana, Brazil. Brazil, period. I'll say it's pretty hot for us right now. Brazil, period. Black men, straight up. Brazil, period. Copacabana, Brazil, period. DR, I haven't been there either, but I know that's on the list. Um, Thailand, Thailand. Um, and I think what's starting to be on that list now is Kenya. Kenya is starting to be on that list. Just don't go to them places. That's it. There's nothing wrong with traveling. And it's a lot of peace. Like I'm having a lot of peace now. I think I kind of been gone too long. When I come home, it's gonna be very hard to adapt. I can see it. I can see it being very hard to adapt. Um, I'm gonna have to control myself and not drink myself away or smoke myself away. I want to be over there sober minded, but I'm gonna have to adapt to America again. It's been very peaceful where I'm at, and I think every black person should, in my opinion, I think they should live out of the country for a year. You know, I think they should go somewhere and just live outside the country for a year. I recommend that. Just don't go where the passport bros are, right? And you'll be all right. And even if you do go there, you'll still be all right. Just don't deal with the 304s or the professional prostitutes. Just don't deal with them. All those places are destroyed by the passport bro community. All of them. And if you are a passport bro, go there. But for those of us that are regular men, we shouldn't be in any of those places because even if you do meet women that uh yeah, I don't know if you're talking about me, whatever your name is. Couldn't be talking about me because that's pretty much what I'm saying. I'm saying that uh people that are afraid to travel for the passport bros, that's not correct. That's what I'm saying. I'm literally speaking against that. That yeah, you should travel, you know. But I'm sticking to what I'm saying. Any of the red light districts, cities, and the places that passport bros be at, you can go there. Just don't entertain the women there because the women's idea of a black person, black community, and black culture is delusional at best. It's delusional at best because more than likely they have dealt with a passport bro. Anyway, let's get on to Kanye. Yeah, Kanye. My next cap story is gonna be about Kanye. He has turned into Charleston White for me, right? I just tuned him out. I mean, I can't tune out Kanye because I gotta finish this cap story for him. I can't tune him out right now, but most of these other niggas, I tune them out because your attention becomes a spectacle for them. They're willing to say anything to get you to click and watch their video. Anything. Anything. Um, One video is, man, why they do black people like this and da 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 da. And then the next video is, you niggas ain't nothing. Charleston White is even worse because Charleston White takes other people's, like if he run out of something to say, he'll take another YouTuber's perspective and then go and speak on it like it's his perspective. And then the next video, he'll have a Confederate flag on. I get drained. I think Charleston White just about finished, at least with the black community. Who's holding him up? He was smart. He started doing shit with Aiden Ross and all that. So now he got them white boys holding him up for a while. One thing about those type of white people, once they get it into their head that black people don't even fuck with them anymore, then they end up not listening to him too. But yeah, Kanye as he has destroyed his own career, and I don't think he thought about what he was doing before he did it, right? And he literally has dogged everybody out, even himself. Who could have held him up? The stuff that he was saying against the J community, the people that could have held him up, then he started dogging them out. You know what I mean? He has changed himself so many times, and there's so many different Kanyes. I think there's a Kanye that we all relate to. Everybody, even racist white people. That's how you know you can't trust them now. Because you should not be a person where, not in America, that's so divided. There's no way for you to be an honorable person where you have spoken for every type of American before at one point. Because there's so many conflicting views, you just cancel out your whole message. He's spoken for pro-black people before. He's spoken for racist Klan members before. He's spoken for you know, the H, you know, the guy with the mustache, and then you know, the Germans. He's spoken for them before. Those are people that should never agree. But he given all of them a voice at some point. And he should have thought about what he was doing before he do it. And the thing that he does, right, is he puts on, this is all mental health. But the reason why the mental health shit don't work is because, I'm not saying there's people out there that don't go through mental shit, but the reason why the mental health shit doesn't stick is because when you were saying this shit, the stuff made sense. Like, okay, let's look at people that are really mentally ill. Remember that dude, Ronnie? I forgot his last name. I ain't gonna never forget him. Ronnie. White people love this guy. Black guy that killed his daughter. No, he killed his wife in front of the daughter. No, he didn't kill the daughter. I can't remember it. I think he had a daughter and a son, and he killed the wife and the daughter. Remember, he had the crown. They love it because he had, white people like him, and they like pointing at him because he had the dope hair. He was sick in the head, but he had the dope hair. Ronnie O'Neal, that's him. And he said, I ain't playing with nobody. They did that nigga dirty, but he deserved it. Oh boy, they did that nigga dirty. Because remember the judge was like, you know what, Ronnie? I want to say this, man. You really was a good lawyer for yourself. I think in another dimension, you'll be a great lawyer. And he stabbed his son and he survived. Okay. She said, I think you'll be a great lawyer. But we ain't in that dimension. In this dimension, you are the most wickedest person I ever seen in my life. Yeah, he represented himself. They set his ass up. She said, I think you are the most wickedest person I've seen in my life. I now hereby give you 4 life sentences. Look, them people is pale-faced demons. Point blank. You could have just said, man, fuck all of this. I don't care about your lawyer shit, nothing. You scum on the earth. I'm gonna give you 4 life sentences. You know what I mean? But first of all, if they ever get a hold of me, they're gonna throw the book at me. They're gonna throw, it don't matter what I get caught on. It could be, first of all, I'm not doing anything illegal, but they can catch me on the slightest thing. If it's anywhere near a felony and they pull up all of these videos, they're going to give me as much time as they're gonna give me. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm not doing anything illegal. I can get, if it's anything that's anywhere near a felony and they look up and they see the type of stuff that I'm saying, they're pale-faced demons. What they judge on ain't got nothing to do with right or wrong. If it had anything to do with right or wrong, we wouldn't have the president we have right now. What they judge on is white supremacy. That's what they judge on. Even the black judges. That's what it all goes on. You see what I'm saying? So when they find you guilty or something like that, they're going to give you a sentence based on how white supremacy will look at you. You see what I'm saying? Whether you did what they're saying you done or not. If you get found guilty, and it has nothing to do with right or wrong. It has something to do with whether they think you should be in jail or not, and who they decide should be able to get away with what they want them to get away with. That's the U.S. system. It don't have nothing to do with right or wrong. It ain't got nothing to do with God. It ain't got nothing to do with what is fair and unfair. It has nothing to do with any of that. Don't let nobody tell you anything else differently. You know, of course, what he did was wrong, Ronnie O'Neal. You know, but why not just sentence the man, give him life? Why gaslight him and do all that shit? Because they want to put on a spectacle. And the main thing that he did that made himself a big target of the media was his hair. You know, our hair is dope. He has some dope hair. That just made him because there's another thing I want to put in there, because I'll miss out on the context if I don't put this in there, because I know how it kind of sounds now, like he didn't do anything wrong. That's not the truth. I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong. What I'm saying is they made him a spectacle for no reason. He's supposed to just go to jail and that's it. But how he looked, you see what I'm saying? It just made him more of a spectacle. And this is another thing that people don't want to acknowledge. I know damn well. Same thing for him. I'm gonna leave that other guy out of it. But y'all know damn well that dude ain't right in the head. That dude was not right in the head. He should have got life in an asylum. He should not be in any regular jail. When you see the man, how the man, even the way he was presenting his case, it was all off. They gaslighted the fuck out of that dude because they really wanted to use him as an example for all of us. That's why they didn't adhere to this dude has mental illness. This man, if anything, should be in a straitjacket in an asylum. He should be where they should put the Joker at. That's where he should be at. But they acted like this was some totally sane man that committed these foul crimes. No, this dude had mental illness that committed foul crimes. That dude was not sane in the slightest a bit. He's not sane in the slightest a bit. You know, I don't even know how I got on Ronnie O'Neal. Oh yeah, but the same thing with Kanye, man. Kanye is sick in the head. He ain't do the shit that Ronnie O'Neal did, but you know, I think one thing about him, I think Kanye got bored. I'm giving y'all a little taste of what my I'm giving y'all a little preview of what the Cap Story shit is about. But I think he got bored. I literally think he got bored. Kanye got everything that he wanted to get, and he just got bored with it. And he did not think through what he was doing. You see, because now what he's trying to do is, and I know, because dude is a genius. Let's just be real. He's a genius, right? He thought all the moves that he did after he turned on the J community, because he was with him. That's how he got where he got. He was with them. And he thought the anti-black stuff that he was putting out was going to hold him up. That didn't work. That didn't work. Then he thought all the connections he made outside of America would help him. And he's still doing show. He just did a show in China. You know what I mean? He just did a show in China. He thought all that was going to hold him up. But he learned something that I'm learning. You could be an entertainer. You can do all of that. But if America don't fuck with you, it don't count. It feels good a little bit. But especially somebody like him, because he's an attention whore. Let's just be real. Kanye loves attention. He loves attention. And he don't care about Chinese attention. He don't care about Asian attention. It's only good enough to get him a tweet from somebody. Oh, look what they're doing in China. He wants American attention. Do y'all know he apologized to the J community 3 times? It made the news this time because he brought out a post, I think in the New York Times. He purchased one to apologize. He did a little apology to the black community too. But this is the 3rd time he didn't apologize to them about that. He didn't think through what he was doing. I'm not willing to believe. I think the right in the head, the mental illness for him a little bit. I think he became too full of himself. But I think he was totally smart enough to know everything that what he was doing. The dude is a genius. He was smart enough. He was knowing everything he was doing. I don't think he thought it through. I don't think he thought it through. Then there's a lot of people talking about him this week because he had a line about JayZ and Pusha T. But then y'all do know that not only was Kanye at the Diddy parties, Kanye had Diddy parties of his own. And this is why he was doing the Christian music. Y'all do know why 50 Cent don't like y'all do know 50 Cent why he don't like Kanye, right? It ain't because Kanye beat him in that 2008 battle. Well, that's part of it. Another reason why is Kanye hired his wife, or not his wife, his baby mama. Kanye had Daphne Joy at his own S parties, right? He kind of gave this away, and we just looked at it as art. But remember that video Power? He was doing that. Oh, I got to write that down. I got to put that in there. But he was doing that in Power. Remember in Power, he was in that bed, just him and a whole, all these bunch of white women. Power. He was doing that. We thought it was just like a video. He's showing us, oh, look at him with the butt naked white women. Then, I ain't gonna lie, one thing they do that I like, people gonna talk shit about me, I don't care. She doing it. She doing it. I still think, if he don't have her sign no paperwork, I still think he gonna pay for this one day. But that Bianca woman, man, he be treating her like his slave, man. Let me read some of these comments. We wouldn't cut his money off. That's why he kept up with the anti-black shit. But he talked about the J, that cut his money off for real. Correct. Yep, Kanye's situation is personal. He is not crazy, but he act crazy, like Tupac with his thug life attitude. Yeah, I believe there's some belief in there. Um, yeah, I don't want to talk about Pac. At some point, I'm gonna have to do a Tupac Cap story. He's my number one favorite rapper of all time. But Tupac has more thing in common with some of these people we've been talking about tonight than those of us that love him want to admit. Just gonna be real with you. Tupac was at some of these parties too. I think it's Gloria Valdez talked about how she was very young and pregnant and went to one of these parties, and Tupac went and saved her and would allow her at the party. But Tupac went to the party. Now we love Pac. I love Pac. But at some point, I ain't gonna do Cap stories. Now I ain't big enough yet to do a Cap story with him. I'm maybe 3 to 6 months away from what they call channel authority to where I can do topics. I can't do it yet. I'm almost there. I'm 85% of the way there, but I'm very close to being able to do to have topics about any entertainer, and it won't push me out the algorithm. You have to wait till you do that certain type of stuff. So I'm real close to being able to do a Tupac Cap story that won't affect my algorithm at all. Very, very, very close. But I got to do a Tupac. I got to do a Tupac Cap story. I love him. Um, the thing that I got with Tupac is, and we get back to Kanye, and it's the same thing with Kanye. I'm not as big as a Kanye fan as I am a Tupac fan, but both of them are very similar. When you mention both of them, those are the two most influential entities ever in hip hop. And you could debate this all fucking day. You really can't lose picking one or the other on who was more influential. Me personally, I would like to say Tupac, but I would even like to say now his influence isn't as heavy as Kanye's influence. But I would still like to put Tupac. There's numerous things that Tupac did that's just looked at as everyday shit today. And it wasn't. Tupac was the one that brought, he was the one that brought all the tattoo shit. The tattoo shit was the white biker shit. That let's give them their props. I don't fuck with tattoos. I ain't got none. I have no tattoos, you know. But that the white biker has always been tatted up like that. Tupac is the one that took the tattoo shit and made it a staple in hip hop. Now I don't know how many major hip hop. Well, JayZ is one. There ain't too many major hip hop artists though that are not fully tatted up, and that started with Tupac. The bandana shit that started with Tupac. The double CD shit that started with Tupac. I think he was the first artist. I could be wrong on this. This is just my opinion. Somebody that's been around hip hop longer than me probably could debate this better than me, but I'm gonna say he was, in my opinion, the first mainstream artist that can go back and forth between mainstream and underground seamlessly, like it ain't nothing. There ain't too many artists that can do that. You know, you got Kendrick now, and after him, through time, you had more of them that was like that. Like Biggie was like that. JayZ was like that. I don't put Nas in that category. Nas is more of an underground artist. I don't think Nas does well in mainstream type shit. Um, um, uh, yeah, I mean, Crips and Bloods always had bandanas, but Tupac the one that made it like a staple. You know what I mean? Even whatchamacallit started wearing bandanas and made it a part of their act. Like Ice Cube was biting off of Tupac too. You know what I mean? He even took the he even took that from Pac. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm once again, and I know what I'm saying when I be saying this. I didn't say Tupac started off that shit, but he the one that got everybody on it. He didn't start the tattoo shit up. The white boys started that up. But he the one that brought that to hip hop. Same thing with the bandanas. The Crips and the Bloods was doing that, but he the one that had everybody doing that. Ja Rule was wearing the bandana. He wasn't wearing that because of Ice Cube. He was wearing that because of Tupac. All them kids that started wearing that bandanas, they wasn't wearing that because of Ice Cube and because of the Bloods and Crips. They were wearing that because of Tupac. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. Kanye has that kind of influence now. Don't nobody dress like Pac now, of course. Um, the interesting thing about him is Kanye is damn near 50 years old. I think he's about 48, 49. He's damn near 50 years old. And he has 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds dressing like him as a 50-year-old. That is unheard of. That is unheard of. That is unheard of. Um, yeah, uh, like I said, we ain't got to get into this debate now, but I don't think you can lose with choosing who's more influential, Tupac or Kanye. I don't think you, shit. Kanye's flop made a superstar. Kanye's flop made a superstar. 808 Heartbreak gave Drake's career life. Drake's style was not really accepted in mainstream. It was a flop for him. It was a flop for him. Gave Drake life. 808 Heartbreak. Um, There's so many influences Kanye has. But yeah, he's just as much as a fashion icon. Well, like we said, legend in two games, like we Kurt. Same thing about Kanye. He's as much as a fashion icon as he is uh yeah, this is good. I'm having y'all giving me the ambition to finish this Kanye doc right when I get off of here. Um uh yeah, cause Kanye he's definitely influenced a lot. He's just as much as a fashion icon as he is um a music icon. Who would have ever thought? Remember he said he's gonna make a shoe that outsells and becomes bigger than Jordan's, and he's not even an athlete. That nigga did it. That nigga did it. Like this is stuff that just saying it to you, all of us would look at him like, nigga, what are you talking about? Outsell Jordan? Okay. Yeah. And he did. He did. He outsold Michael Jordan. Like, once again, this is backing up my theory where I think he got bored. And I think he recklessly derailed himself thinking he can just get out of it. And he's starting to find out he can't get out of it. He didn't apologize to the Jewish folks 3 times. They're not accepting any apologies. What I predicted happened. I told y'all it's too much money in them Yeezys to let it go away. And I told y'all more than likely what they're gonna do is they're gonna make a deal where they sell the Yeezys and you just gonna have to give a percentage to that community. And that's exactly what happened. And once it's all sold out, okay, we finished with you. Okay, we finished with you, right? So they don't want no more Kanye's money. And they're trying to make sure that he don't get no money. Um, we over here know that they are what they are. We ain't got to get into talking to them. But shit, you put your hand on the stove, you get burned. He asked for it. As much as we want to talk about the J community, some of y'all found out about my page because I had almost a whole year where I was doing content talking about them way before the Palestinian stuff when it wasn't in style when I was doing it. I don't even like talking about it now because everyone's doing it now. Like it's just a thing to do now. Let's just go and make some stuff about Israel and Palestine. I did it when they were talking about Kyrie. Everybody stepped away from it at that moment. Nobody wanted to talk about it. I wouldn't talk about it and they pretty much shut down my YouTube page. Pretty much. They stuck me at 25,000 subs at the time. Couldn't grow. For almost a year. I'm gonna say about 8 to 10 months. They just shut it down. They shut it down, you know. So, as much as I talked about them in the past, what do you expect? When you go at them like that, what do you expect? They're gonna shut you down. But he did so much, even I can't ridicule them on how they're coming at him, right? And not only that, I ain't on Kanye's side with that. You want to know why? He didn't stand on it. He didn't stand on it. If he would have stood on it, you got my full support, brother. He didn't stand on it. And I still think, and some of y'all are not gonna agree with this or see where I'm coming from, but that's fine. I still think he did that for them. I still think he was working with them doing some of that stuff. right? I still think some of this was performative, and I think part of it is they can't never put him back where he was because that's part of the story for him. You know why? I think they like to generate a hatred for themselves. You know what I mean? Because Kanye did it over and beyond. This man had a #1 hit in Israel that he put out. That that song was #1 in Israel for a while. The one that Myron and all them was singing and all that. You know I can't say the words on here. You know what I mean? With Twitter. That shit was hard too. I'm sorry. They don't understand me. Block my words on Twitter. He overdid it. He overdid it. He overdid it. He overdid it. You think you can do? You making hits out of this shit, dogs. You think you can come back from this, man? You did. You used your #1 gift and talent, your voice and your production. Your #1 gift and talent. You didn't just make speeches and shit like that. You use your #1 talent. You think you can make it back from all of this? Not only that, man, just chill the F out. You won. You won. His legacy is already set in stone. He don't have to make no one. I don't think they keep talking about Drake. Forget Drake. No one has had a run such as Kanye. No one. Kanye was technically hot in 4 different generations. Technically. If I went on here now, I'm pretty sure he produced a couple hits that might have hit at the end of the 90s, 99. Maybe his first one was 2000. I might be wrong with that. Let me see. Who was Kanye's first produced hit? Let me look that up now. We got. It ain't like when I was growing up where we will all have to remember shit. You have an encyclopedia right in your pocket. What year was Kanye? Okay, just missed it. 2000. Oh, wait. They wasn't hits, but he was selling beats to people the end of 1996, but they wasn't hits. His first like hits came in 2000, 2001. So he barely missed. Though he did sell beats at the end of the 90s, he barely missed being relevant in 4 generations, because you would have had the 90s, you would have had the 2000s, you had the 2010s, and the 2020s. That's 4 generations. That's 4 generations, right? So let's just say 3, almost 4. Let's just say 3. I don't know nobody who no run like that. I don't know nobody. Maybe Drake got the #1 billboards and all that, but I'm talking about relevancy. There is nobody that has been as relevant for that long as Kanye. Absolutely no one. Absolutely no one. He's still relevant today. That's asinine. Have you seen other artists and MCs that's near 50? How relevant are they? Ain't nobody waiting for no JayZ album. Maybe Eminem, but Eminem, yeah, he just has a cult following. Eminem has put out a few flops in his older years. And people don't, for him to make it back, he had to rap exactly how he rapped. He had to go back to Slim Shady. That's what Eminem had to do. He had to go back to Slim Shady. He didn't reinvent himself. So I don't compare him to Kanye, and I don't think he's as relevant. I know he's not as relevant in today's time as Kanye. Eminem fans will buy anything. Eminem can make a blank CD that will go platinum. Literally, he can make a blank CD that will go platinum. His fans will buy anything, but he doesn't have the influence, and he hasn't been as relevant as Kanye as long. There's no one that has had the run that Kanye has had. There is no one. Yeah, he did Benny Siegel, The Truth. I mean, he really went wild on that he did that whole Blueprint album. JayZ has profited the most. Other than Kanye himself, no one has profited more off of Ye than JayZ. at the most crucialest fork in the road of Jay-Z's career, Kanye got him out of it, helped him out. Remember when he came at Nas, right? That was a big mark in his career. What he did with Kanye, the production on that album, that was totally uh, away from Jay-Z's branding, right? Blew both of them up at the same time. Jay-Z never did want him to rap. Let's not forget about that. Jay-Z never did want him to rap. Let's not forget about that. But for those of us that were around at that time, that was not only was that a totally different sound, and I ain't even really gonna say it was totally different. It was a totally different sound for Jay-Z. If you remember that Kanye, um, he emulated the most. He changed, but let's just be real. When he first came out, he emulated RZA. Some that let's just be real. The Blueprint album, if you told somebody that RZA um, produced that Blueprint album, I don't think that anybody would have said you're crazy. If you would have said that, if someone just came with that album, like listen to this album, RZA produced that album, I don't think someone would say, wait, that's RZA? He sounded just like RZA. He had same type of samples. It was a little bit different. He brought a little bit more jazzy flavor to it, but the sampling style and shit like that, it sounded just like RZA. And I don't think this is a crazy take that I'm making, because I believe he said that. I believe he said at that time, yeah, Just Blaze was on there too. But I think Kanye produced most of the tracks. Just Blaze had a few of them on there. But I think Kanye had, I could look that up too. I'm willing to bet a lot of money Kanye produced the most tracks on there. Who produced? Yeah. Yeah, he produced the most tracks on Blueprint. I remember that. That was easy. And he produced the biggest tracks on there. But yeah, I remember that. I remember that he had the um blueprint more polished than RZA. Yeah, I'll say that. And if you're saying polished, more capable of reaching mainstream, I'll definitely agree with that. Yeah, because RZA shit. Not only that, RZA had the old school. If you know about production, RZA had more of an old school way of doing it, of producing samples and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, so basically, not to lose the point of all of this, that man has had a long-standing career. Yeah, RZA was more, but he was literally making them beats in the basement, Dusty in the basement. Um, it was definitely more polished than RZA, but um, you can hear the RZA influence. Was the main point that I'm bringing up. You can hear the influence RZA had on that. That's the main point that I'm bringing up. Actually, I don't think that girl worked today in receptionist. The man got Nike to give him royalties, then cussed Nike out. I'm gonna get off here after this, after we finish talking about Kanye, because I got this is y'all actually helping me out, because I can go straight to that computer and finish the script. The man talked Nike into giving him a deal that they don't give nobody that ain't athletes. Then cussed him out after that. He literally, I don't know anybody in hip hop that literally got everything they wanted. That spoke it first and then went and got it. Everything. There was nothing. The man was literally the most richest African American in the history of America at some time. Do you realize that? He was the richest African American. Let me repeat. He was the richest, more than Oprah, more than JayZ, more than all them people in the EpStein Files. He outdid people that hung with Epstein and all that. Outdid them all. You know what I mean? He was at one point the richest man, black man in American history. There was nothing that this man said that he was going to do that didn't do. The only thing he probably said that he can do that he didn't do and probably will never be able to do is become president. Everything else, he did it. He did everything else, you know. So I think he just got bored. I think he just felt unstoppable. It's like, I think he felt like, man, look, I can tell these Jews go fuck themselves, and I'm gonna still make it back to #1. That's where went too far. Went too far, man. And it's still America. He's still the biggest secret in human history. We all know what it is. He thought he can defeat that. He thought he can. He thought he could go against those that's living out one of the biggest lies in human history. Come on, dude. You're not that rich. You know what I mean? You lucky you still here breathing. Like, because at some point he can be worth more dead than alive if we ain't already there yet. At some point he gonna be worth more dead than alive. Let's just be real. Like, and he brings that stuff up too, but he's just like, I don't think. Look, you can't play with people's mental stuff. He got a little bit of mental stuff going on, but I think his biggest, somebody already mentioned it down there. I think his biggest problem is his ego. I think his biggest mental incompetence is he's too much full of himself. Like, he just felt like he was too unstoppable. Must be nice to be all the way up there. Do I think he's around people you can't trust? Yeah. You get to billions and shit like that. Once you start getting the billions, none of us can just go make a billion and that's it. People are going to approach you. And if you don't, billionaire is a whole different thing than millionaire. There's a whole bunch of millionaires. Shit, I might have a couple millionaires watching me now. I'm not saying that it's nothing, but compared to the scope of things, yeah, being a millionaire ain't nothing. You could become a millionaire without becoming a harm to your community. It wasn't like that before, back in the day. But inflation has taken over so much, you could become a millionaire without kissing ass. Like, you can become a millionaire and nobody will fuck with you. You can buy the right property off of credit and become a millionaire, right? But when you're a billionaire, they're not gonna let you become a billionaire, because once you become a billionaire, you actually have some power in the economy in America, right? It's certain moves you can't even make as being a billionaire because you'll offset certain type of things, which is why I don't think they'll ever let him become a billionaire again. He'll say he's a billionaire now, but I don't think so. Definitely ain't broke. Definitely made a comeback after the Adidas stuff, but I don't think he's where he was. I don't think they'll let him get to that area again. But then again, I don't know. I think he could if he goes behind the scenes. If he ends up becoming like the J community and he shut the fuck up and be in the shadows and make his moves like that, totally think that he could be a billionaire behind the shadows, but not. They're never gonna let him have the voice that he used to have. I think he purposely fucked all that up. I still think he works with those people. That's me, because we're in an era right now where they're trying to generate hate up for themselves. And this is just my opinion. This is not, what should I be saying here? This is my opinion. There ain't no facts in this. This is just my opinion. But I think they're trying to generate hate for themselves so they can be like, oh man, someone just said something that I'm gonna have to get to in a second. Pretty Mo. I'm gonna have to get to that in a second. I think they're like trying to depict themselves the original Jews. So they have to have the hate there. You cannot be the original Jewish community if you don't have the hate there. So I think to a degree, they want people to hate them. So when you say, how come people don't like you? Well, you're from the Moses. If you look back then, they never liked them either. When the truth of the matter is, people don't like y'all because of what y'all doing to people's communities. Those Jewish folks didn't do anything to anybody. People didn't like them just because of who they were. Did nothing to no one. Shit, they don't want him. I'm not in Thailand, but they don't want him in Thailand. They had to have a meeting with the ambassador from Israel because they went to Thailand and they was just disrespected. It was a period when I first came out here. They moved out here when I first came out here. No one was bothering them. I'm gonna say after a year of me being out here on the news, they were going viral every week. They wasn't going viral every week from being good people. They were going viral every week from doing horrible shit. I told y'all, I think I told y'all a story when one of them stole something from a bikini store. They put like 5 bikinis into their bag, and the Thai lady saw them stealing, and they caught them before they left. And they were just like, it was a woman, and the woman was just like, please don't do this to me. I didn't steal anything from you. Do you know? She literally asked her. She said, because one thing y'all have to realize is Asia don't teach like how we teach. The stuff that's important to our country, they don't give a fuck about. Where I'm at now, this is what I had to learn. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all should, visiting to me ain't enough. Y'all should take 6 months to a year, pick somewhere that you know is safe, and go live there. You may not realize it like I didn't realize it, but it will change everything the way you think about shit. It will open your mind, right? You're gonna have to take a while to yourself and process this shit because it's a lot to process. But these countries don't teach the same way we teach things. Like, for example, I'm in Vietnam right now. And I think I can legally say this on here and it shouldn't be a problem. They don't teach World War II like we teach World War II. They teach, well, one thing they do teach about World War II is positive, right? They don't teach about the H-man with the mustache. They don't teach him the way we teach him. They teach him, they celebrate him out here. Thailand does too. They don't celebrate him because of what he supposedly did to those folks. That ain't why they celebrate him. They celebrate them because the Thais didn't want the French over here, but they made a deal with the French. People that don't know history will tell you, oh, they never been colonized. They'll act like the Thai folks, like, fought these people. You're not going to colonize. No, 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 no. And a Thai woman had to explain this to me. When the French came over here, they came over here first to Khmer. That's what they call it, Khmer. It used to be Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand used to be one land. When the French came over here, they had cannons and guns. And what Khmer did, Siam, which wasn't Thailand at the time, but it was going to get to that, is said, look, you can have Laos, you can have Cambodia. You know, if you just let us be, leave us alone. All they had was swords. They didn't have no guns. They didn't have no cannons, none of that. So they gave them that land. And French said, okay. And the French used Laos and Cambodia to take over Vietnam. That's where they set up at, right? So when you hear, oh, Thailand was never colonized, that's because they surrendered. You know what I mean? They said, here we give them land, give y'all a couple holes, give you this land, give you that land. And what you seeing with Thailand, Cambodia, the French drew a map purposely to make them fight over that temple, purposely. We're still dealing with shit that them people did way back then. But anyway, the point that I'm making is Vietnam did not get rid of the French from their land until World War II happened. Same thing with the Thais. That's when the French left this land. Now, they still put certain stuff in their community to leave and make these treaties and all that. One of them was a color code, right? Some white people, whenever you hear this is a pale-faced demon talking to you. And I'm not going to go, because I got to get off here. So I'm not going to go through all of this right now. You have to research this on your own, or maybe on another live stream, I could break it down all for you. But there's one thing you hear pale-faced demons tell you all the time. This most demonic thing you can hear from them. They will tell you that racism is natural. And humans, we just find a way to hate each other. Humans have not always been friends, and there always have been ways to manufacture hate. This has went all the way down to Cain and Abel. That part is correct. It was never based on color. Maybe different tribes didn't like different tribes, ethnicities and tongues and all of that. But even in the Bible, which is even the historians will tell you, some of the Bible is a good example of what happened in history. They can't tell you that. Some stuff we have no records of. The only records we have is of the Bible. Historians can tell you that, for those of y'all who don't believe the Bible. I'm not talking about the parables in the Bible and Yahshua and all that. I'm just talking about some of the records it kept. Even the historians will tell you, yes, this is what happened, and this is our record of it. They'll use Bible as record keeping. You never hear them talking about hating people because of color. They hated people because where they was from, the tongues that they spoke, right? It was never about color. The color code was created by Europeans, and they set that color code. And what they want to teach now is that it's a human natural thing. That's when you hear a white person tell you that, that is a flat out pale faced demon that wants to make you think the shit that they got this whole world, because they fucked all this shit up. They fucked all of this shit up. They want to make you think that that's some natural thing that's in humans. No, 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 no. There's only one group of people that thought like that. And there's only one people that is fucking this world up in that manner and making people hate each other. This whole fucking continent of Asia is destroyed from them. Stuff that they did hundreds of years ago are now possible conflicts of nuclear war. India, Pakistan wasn't like that before they came over. And this is another thing they'll tell you. They'll tell you, well, look at what we done. We gave them roads. We gave them sanitation. So basically what they're trying to say is, if it wasn't for us and the racism that we passed on to these people, they would be living uncivilized. That's another thing that they talk about. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, I can't break this down for y'all. Technology is not a good thing. God never meant for us. Technology, man uses technology to take the place of God. That's a whole nother topic that I'm not gonna get into. There's too many thoughts I'm throwing at some of y'all now for y'all to catch all of them. But that's the story of Atlantis. That's the story of the Tower of Babel. The Most High wants us to depend on him. Technology goes against all of that. And the thing about technology, it always ends up consuming itself and consuming humans with it. That's the story of Atlantis. That's the story of Atlantis for real. But technology is not our friend. But they always want to throw that when you talk about all the I know I can see one of them watching me now that's hating what I'm saying because they know it's the truth. Probably damn, I can feel you watching me right now. Probably damn near want to kill me from telling my people that. I don't care. You know, because every time I brought this up in certain circles, oh, they get real hateful. And they can't say I'm wrong though. They can't. They'll try to throw other stuff at me. Oh, this man, his whole thing. I tell them the exact names of the people that created this color code and shit like that. They hate it. I got kicked out of so many Reddit groups because they can't take the conversation. They rather preach to y'all that it's something human that we've come up with amongst ourselves. No, we didn't. You pale-faced demons came up with this. And this whole world is operating like this now. And instead of us coming together and getting rid of the cancer of the world, we can't. Because we're all fighting against each other. They'll tell you about black on black crime. That's what I'm saying. My mind is so much more complex than it was. They can't have this conversation with me like they do with y'all, because I done seen too much. They'll tell you about black on black crime. All that is the black on black crime, which through the Bloods and the Crips is real. That part, can't no one deny that black on black part is real, the Bloods and the Crips. But when you look at all of that, and you look at how all of this stuff got started, it all got started by white people and CIA and they psych ops and all that. And the same thing is going on in different parts of the world. Indians and Pakistanis are the same folks. Can't stand each other. Nuclear conflict possible. Nuclear conflict possible. When did this happen? When the British came near. Right? Thailand, Cambodia. Big time problems at the border. Right? Over a temple. Who drew that map for the temple? The French. China, Taiwan. Same people. Same bloodline. Don't like each other. Possible nuclear conflict. Who separated them like that? The Brits. North Korea, South Korea. Can't stand each other. North Korea damn near want to blow up South Korea. Who started that? Who got in that conflict? America. Now, was there hate out here? Yeah. But once they got out here, it turned into something else. And the Japanese was fucking all these people up. Let's be real. The Japanese was fucking all these people. None of them liked the Japanese because they was going over and beyond. So I'm not sitting here to say all the hate of the world they created. But the meaningful ones, yes, they did. And many of these conflicts, North Korea, South Korea. Another possible nuclear conflict, right? They don't like me telling y'all this because they just want to enjoy living in this demonic world that they created. They just want to enjoy it, and they don't want nobody. The worst thing you can call them is a demon. They hate that. They want you to go by the Disney shit, where they're the good guys. And they went there and build sanitation stuff, and they gave them a government. They don't want you to bring up all the dirty shit they did, the horrible shit they did, and the inhumane shit. When you bring it up, oh, that's just the way humans are. You fucking demon. Humans did not start up the color code and hating somebody just because their color of their skin is better. And you know the people who see me and hate me the most? It be some of the most ugliest, older looking white people that look at me like they hate me. Just, some of these people are younger than me too. Some of these people are younger than me. You see what I'm saying? It's just skin, all just old, raisin, old horror. They look like the royal family. Prince Charles. They look like him. Just physically incompetent. Physically. But he's royalty. He's royalty. The son says, I don't think so. Like, let me show. And we talk shit. We like to place this on all white people. Even I do it at times. But the truth of the matter is, people such as myself, we say this stuff about them. And where they're guilty at is, because they didn't start this. They just get to live under the benefits. And they are, I hate to tell y'all this, and I don't like admitting this, because they're not, it doesn't look like that to us, but they are victims of the system too, just not how we are. They are victims of the separation. They're just on the better side of this shit. But those people up top don't care about them either. They don't care about them either. You know what I mean? They just need them so we can all argue. And the part where they're wrong at is they will never combine with us, because they know this shit too. They'll just want to use the good part about it. Is, well, we didn't do any of this stuff, and they're not lying. The part that they the part about them where it's foul is they know that those folks are the problem, but they will never link up with us because we are the majority. Regular humans, we are the majority. There is no way 1% should be running this world, right? But the only reason why they won't ever link up with us to get rid of these people that's on top, because they know once we get rid of these people on top, they won't have any benefits. But when they say they didn't create it, they're right. They didn't create it. They're just living off the benefits of it. You know? And the fact that they won't really fight against it the way it needs to be fought against, you can kind of say that they're guilty of it too. They have some parts in the guilt of it as well. You can kind of say that. You know what I mean? But they aren't the ones that created this. It's the higher upper. They just get to live the benefits of this shit. And boy, when I tell you how they be out here lying, they be lying they ass off. They got these Asian people thinking that the blacks are the reason that they got the anti-Asian hate bill. They got the whole world thinking that we done fucked up Asians so much in America that they had to pass the anti-Asian hate bill in America because of us. They don't want to bring up when the Asian folks move to America, they don't allow them to build anything in white communities. They have to come to our community to build it. They also don't want to talk about how these Asians move to our community in America. They don't put into the community. They just take from it. They don't like us. You know what I mean? But if we ever cut the tail off the donkey and never let them start up businesses in America, a lot of them wouldn't know. Maybe not the Chinese, because the Chinese create their own infrastructure in America. But the Vietnamese, these Koreans, most of them, they couldn't be able to build anything in America. No business in America wasn't for us. They come to America, build up these nail salons, build up these crab boils. But for those of y'all don't know, the anti-Asian bill, they took every, you know, because in New York, you'll have some mentally ill people that would, first of all, everybody get punched in the face in New York. You're liable to walk down the street in New York and a random mentally ill person just knock you in the face. That's just some New York shit. Anybody that lived in New York tell you that. It happens all the time. Mentally ill people just turn, knock somebody in the face. But when it happens to a white person, they put it on the news and they act like it's a normal thing. And the normal one of us, it's not Ronnie O'Neal that did it. They'll try to make it like it's the same black dude that just went and did it. But even with all the videos they showed of someone black just punching somebody Asian in the face, the thing that got the anti-Asian bill created is because a white supremacist went to all these spas in, was it Georgia? It was neither Georgia or Florida. I believe it was Georgia. I believe it was Georgia. He went to all these spas in Georgia and shot all these Asian people up. It was an ATL. Yep, it was Georgia. He wounded 2 and killed 6 for being Asian. For being Asian. I forgot I got the title was Eminem in the Files. They said Eminem was just saying it in the past. He's good though. I read no bad. Oh no, yeah. No, they said that they tried to drug the woman And Eminem just didn't want to sleep with her, but they drugged the woman, like trying to hook her and Eminem up. Look, y'all missed it, the Eminem part of this. I'm not saying Eminem is guilty or all this, but one thing y'all can't take away, he's in the EpStein Files. And the point of that conversation that we already got past, and I'm about to end this shit, but the point that we already got past with the Eminem shit is, this is all tip line stuff. None of this stuff has any credence to it. None of that stuff on JayZ has any credence to it. If you want to believe it, go ahead and believe it. Nobody can stop it. I'm not about to spend time getting people to stop not believe that shit. I'm pretty sure JayZ has done some horrible things in his life. Just the stuff in there just is crazy. Same thing about Pusha T. But in the same breath, Eminem was in there too. We're not about to do one of this is different. No. The only ones that's different is the ones that got emails on. The Bill Gates shit, the Ludwig dude, Elon Musk. Elon Musk said that he never wanted to go to Epstein Island. He emailing, trying to find, not only did he want to go, he wanted to know when is those parties, my nigga. Like, that's what he did. So, yo, I'm just trying to hit you up, man. I know he's talking about the Epstein Island. Yo, tell me when the right time to go to Epstein Island. When them parties, them wildest parties, my nigga. Like, that's what his email read. That's what his email pretty much said. Like, I'm trying to go to Epstein Island, but I ain't just trying to go to the Epstein Island. I'm trying to figure out when y'all got them parties at. You know what I'm saying? When y'all got the wildest parties, right? So that with that, we already passed all that. I don't think Eminem is a bad dude. The only difference between Eminem, I'm bringing it up for y'all. I gotta bring it up for y'all. The only difference between Eminem and JayZ and Pusha T is Eminem has a lot of lyrics about doing essay, drugging people, and touching, you know, because he had one joint where he said, mess with this young girl, put an umbrella in her, let the umbrella open, now it's inside of her, something like that. But he prefaced it by saying a young girl. That's how he prefaced it. Now, this is Eminem. He just talking shit. This is shock and all that. But the man does have lyrics about essay and about stuff with minors. He does have lyrics like that. Do I believe any of this stuff? I don't know, man. You know, I'm just saying, if you're gonna believe any of this stuff, we can't be on some shit where it's like, oh, okay, JayZ and Pusha T is guilty of this, but Eminem, he's just, nah, man. I don't see, there's no evidence on any of this stuff. So I don't see how, for these guys, it can be true. And for these guys, they still want to bring up Diddy. Over here, we ain't gonna let them, we know what Diddy's guilty of. We ain't gonna let them put him in the same bucket. It's not the same bucket. Diddy is a peon, because that's what they want to do now. Now they want to say, when we bring up these people in their community that did this horrible shit, they want to say, oh, Diddy. There's nothing with Diddy and kids. Diddy's just a nasty freak that was putting prostitutes on planes. That's what he got convicted for. He put prostitutes on planes and was having freak parties in different cities. That's what he got convicted for. Nothing with no kids. Nothing with no kids. You know what I mean? These people, they got a video of Epstein chasing a little girl around. And I really don't think it's anything, but when you put it in context of what he got going on, it looks fucked up. But it just looked like, it really looked like some like weird little uncle chasing around his nieces. That's what it looked like. But when you put it in context of the stuff that he was found guilty of, yeah, it looks disgusting. And them old videos with Epstein and Trump, have you noticed something about them folks? It's certain, they all connected to like nasty sexual stuff, but their lips be real red. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? They lips, I call it demon red. They lips be like real demon red. There's a video of Trump and Epstein, both of them talking, and both of their lips are like, matter of fact, it's a filter that I can show y'all how red these guys' lips are. Let me see. Some of y'all go, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna do it just for the sake of comedy. This how red they shit was. I'm gonna leave it for a second. This how red they shit was. This is how red their shit was. There's a video of Trump and Epstein talking, making a joke. Their lips were this red. They were this red. This, people, is a filter. Their lips was this red in real life. In real life. Wasn't no lipstick or whatever. I don't know what makes somebody's lips this red. Can y'all tell me that? What makes somebody's lips this red? What's that one dude? Corey Haim. what's that guy? The guy that was part of the Lost Boys. His lips was that red. That said he went through all that stuff on sets and stuff like that. When he talked, his lips be this red. They lips be, I call it demon red. It be red in the mouth. I'm like, yo, what did they do? What are they doing? Is it something that they sucking that's making their lips like super, super red? Let me get this shit off of here. That shit look real wild right now before the passport bros catch it and change the words up and all that. Do AI. Be like, look, here's what I'm saying. Like, he did a live stream. He was talking about sucking dick, and he even made his lips red. Like, yeah, fucking goofies again, goofies. But their lips be red as fuck, man. Their lips be red as fuck. I don't know what it is what make their lips that red. I don't know what it is, but it was a video I saw of him and Trump, and I'm like, damn, this nigga lips is red in the motherfucker. But y'all niggas is stupid. Y'all niggas is dumb. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find it. I saw that shit. I'm like, man, this nigga lips is way too red. Like, why is his lips too red? What video is there of Trump and EpStein talking with Trump? Trump making a joke. Let me see if we can find it real quick. Yeah, here it go. Here it go. I found it. Look. Y'all think I was joking. Y'all think I was joking. Hold on. I found it. Look. Look how red this dude's lips is, man. Look how red his lips. I looked at that. I was like, yo, why is his lips this red? Look. That's too red, man. That's not lipstick. Why is his, can anybody tell me why his lips is that red? Can anyone tell me why this man's lips is that red? Obviously, it's branch under the nose. That's obvious. That's red, man. That is very red. That is very red. Why? You know what, Pete Morton? Good afternoon, by the way, Pete Morton. But you know, we was having fun there until you came around. It might be red wine. It might be red wine, but shit. You're right. Red wine will do that. I personally think it will be darker red than that. That shit is high red, like bright red. Shit is bright red. But yeah, fair enough. We was having fun though for a minute, my nigga. We was having fun, right? Very red though. Very red. Anyway, though, that's pretty much all I came on here to talk about. We talk about a lot of things like we always do. I always start off with one topic and talk about other things. For all the fun and games and all that, yeah, I don't think, according to people from these tip lines, he was in the same facility and hanging with Epstein and all them. Eminem is what we talking about. I don't think Eminem is as much as guilty. Yeah, this is a small page. I don't know what they do with the notifications. It usually takes me about 20 minutes to get anybody on here, you know, so I know it's something with the notifications. But I ain't tripping. This is my second page. And then I don't want to mess up my algorithm. I'll probably start going live on my main page again after I lock this franchise. But I don't know. Let me stop making these promises, man. I'm to the point, shit, I could I may disappear for another 6 months and not do no live streams. I'm just like that. Because one thing I'm noticing is when I do live streams, it kind of takes away from my work and it kind of pushes shit back. Because the dopamine makes me feel like I've done something when I do a live stream. When really I haven't done anything. As far as according to my goal, I haven't done anything. But it feels like I have because I've done a live stream. The best work I've done has been in the last 6 months when I ain't been doing live streams. I just been doing the documentaries. But I like doing these live streams. But if you don't see me for a while, as long as I keep putting up videos on my main page, ain't nothing wrong. I'm just like focusing on my main page. Once I lock this franchise, which is gonna happen in the next 6 months, gonna happen. Then I can freely do live streams, especially on my main page. But I think I'm just gonna turn this into the live stream page. I don't think I'm gonna go back and do a lot of live streams on my main page. I think this is gonna be the live stream page. These live streams that we do here, we talk a little bit more raw and real. I may make another page for that. But for right now, we okay. I'm probably gonna have to put reaction videos on here because if I just do live streams, it's gonna take me so long to reach the hours of qualifications to get this page monetized. So I'm probably gonna start putting reactions on this page instead of my main page. But what was the point of me saying all this? Oh yeah. As far as Eminem, I don't think Eminem as much as is more of a freak than JayZ or Pusha T. I think all that stuff is hoopla. But I did this live stream because there's a group of people that's gonna want to put more credence, and some of these people I actually like. It's a girl on my Twitter that a fine light-skinned woman that's doing this shit, and I don't unfriend people because we disagree. I don't, you know. But she's like this. She making like this JayZ stuff is real. She said something like, what did she say? She said why JayZ didn't go run into the media and get a lawyer like he did last time. Because this is stupid, man. I told y'all this before. I've been researching a lot of things with Machiavelli, and he teaches you how to withhold leverage. I'm not willing to listen to everything he says, but I'm starting to understand these people, and I'm pretty sure someone like JayZ is going to move with more Machiavellian tactics, and one of his tactics is everything does not deserve a response. I don't think this deserves a response from JayZ. Somebody called in the tip line. I think if you, and I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see it myself. The people that respond to everything start looking like fools. That's just what it is. The people that respond to everything just look like fools. This does not deserve a response. It sounds just as crazy to me as the autistic girl that was heralded from Rochester and one night to the MTV Awards. It sounds just as crazy to me on that. Yeah, he is 33rd degree. Sounds just as crazy to me as that. My whole thing is if you're gonna put some credence to that, you also have to put credence to Eminem was around some of these same people. He's in the files also. Don't let them do, that's my point of doing all this. Don't let them do one or the other. Don't let them do one or the other. And don't waste your time either, spending too much time talking to these folks, because a lot of them don't want to see the truth. I can't believe that. I just don't know where it came from, but there's a group of people that's, I do know where it came from. I do know. It came from Nicki's folks, and it came from Drake's folks. But there's people out there that hopes there's a victim out there. Ain't that crazy? There's people wishing and praying that's a SA victim of JayZ out there. They're praying for it. That is, I will never be like that about somebody that ain't never. All of us have that part of us in us. Let's just be real, right? That wishes the worst on someone, right? I will never be like that towards somebody that never did anything to me and that I don't know. I will never. Let me think. Yeah, I can't think of anybody that I wish, even Drake. Some of y'all, when we was doing all that Drake, Kendrick stuff, some of y'all came in here wishing the worst on Drake. I never was like that. And I know y'all didn't like some of the shit I was saying. I was like, hey, man, I don't, to this day, when they say that Drake's a PDF, he saw a few things on there that was iffy. You know what I mean? He did some stuff that I understand. You know, well, I do understand it, but it's like, why would you do that? Like, you know, he was waiting for certain girls to turn 18, all kinds of shit, you know. But on the purpose of some legal stuff, I never pay that no mind. I keep the same energy with everyone. I never really paid it no mind because it's like, especially now, it's like if you did something foul, there's been many opportunities for somebody to step up. And the reason why I'm like that is in entertainment. I saw a lot of good entertainers getting that y'all never met. Y'all never met. Saw some good entertainers being taken down from this type of stuff, and the few that I saw, I was quite sure they were quite innocent. And these people never went to the police, never went to nothing. They went to the network, you know. They went to Amazon Network, got them taken off a show. They went to the comedy clubs, made sure they didn't get booked anymore. Never went to the police. And I never will be able to understand. The feminists don't ever want to hear this, but I'll never be able to understand how someone has no problem telling the internet stuff, has no problem telling comedy club owners this stuff, has no problem writing a network to the stuff, but has a problem going to a police station. And not only do I never understand it, I will always speak against it, because you know who suffers from this the most, more than anybody, is the real victims. They don't have a lot of examples on how to handle this. You see, you need more examples. I won't want my daughter to look up to any of these people. If I ever have a daughter, I'm going to sit her down and let her know when something like this happens. First of all, come and tell your father. Don't ever feel a way where you can't tell me. You know what I mean? And on top of that, we have to get you psychologically ready, because you have to go be able to talk to the cops. We're living in a very demonic world where people want to give people the ability to be able to take free shots at people's image. Because let's just be real, a person can come and say you've done something wrong and have no proof of it, and you might not have done anything wrong. You're guilty until proven innocent. Times 10 if you're a black male. You're guilty till proven innocent. Meanwhile, if they find out to be a lie, they go through nothing. They can literally take a free shot at your image. Literally a free shot. Well, I missed. All right, well, let me go back to what I was doing. I don't think that's fair. And I think it's demonic that it's people that know that happens, but don't want to bring that up. They just only want to talk about the other side, which is, you know, people doing this shit that do need to go to jail. But there's a group of people that's under false allegations. So anyway, I don't. That's pretty much it. If you're gonna talk about JayZ, if they're gonna talk about JayZ and Pusha T in the files, make sure they also bring up Eminem was in them files too. And I'm pretty sure in the next week we're gonna see more people that's in them files. Between me and you, I give more credence to those emails than I do just the notes. And hey, first of all, if any of these people are guilty about it, it ain't gonna hurt my feelings. If a woman comes out tomorrow and said JayZ did this shit and she got proof and there's pictures and they was at this hotel, you see what I'm saying? I don't give no fuck about JayZ. I don't, you know, JayZ's one of my favorite rappers. You know, I met JayZ before. JayZ don't give a fuck about me. Beyonce took me out of her video. I was in the video and she was treating the men wrong on that video, and I was one of them who complained. They didn't let me go home. They made me wait to get paid. I was one of the last people to leave to get paid, and they took every one of my scenes. Well, I got 2 scenes still left in the video. Other than the 2 scenes I got left in the video, they took everything else out of it. You know what I mean? So I got more reason to not like them folks than y'all do. Like, it's stuff like, you know, she's a Carter. Carters did that to me. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to get the man caught up in something. I seen this man waste $200,000 in front of my face of Dame Dash's money. In front of my face. In front of my face, right? I still don't dislike the man. So if anybody ever comes out on these people and have valid evidence, I'm not sticking up for them. Fuck them. They need to go to jail. But this is all a bunch of bullshit. And the same people that want to put this in your face don't want Eminem's name brought up into that. Well, not over here. Not over here. We bringing everybody up. And those that they got evidence on, I still don't get how is women taking up for R. Kelly. That's crazy to me. And I'm talking about way before R. Kelly got caught. You know, way before R. Kelly got charged with federal indictments and shit. We saw this man on the video urinating on a little girl. And they sold this video like a DVD mixtape around the neighborhood. Now you won't find it. It's illegal to have it, even if you got it in your because they sold it as a tape. It was literally a DVD, and they had a VHS tape on that. It was that old, but it was mostly a DVD that was being sold everywhere. It was everywhere. Everybody had that DVD. Now it's CP. It's CP now. So if it was so like people, we wasn't realizing like, yo, we're literally selling CP. You can go to jail for that. It was underage girl. She wasn't even 15. It's underage. You know what I mean? Yeah, I still don't see how it's people taking up for him. But there's people taking up for R. Kelly. I'm talking about without the legal shit. We all saw this, you know? So I don't take up for people like that. But one day somebody might come up with something that's real on JayZ, and it's gonna be a shame because it's people that came up with all kinds of fake stuff, you know? So they only hurting the people that really went through shit. But whatever the case may be, let me go ahead and get on out of here. I done ended this live stream 5 times. Let me go ahead and end it now. Y'all know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxie Approved. I'll see y'all next time.